How you doing, Jeeks? Is that a better site? Yo, you know what? I'll take your fucking word for it, bro. I trust you. Go. Don't hit me with virus, please. Thanks, Jeeks. What is it? I'm being redirected. Ah! Where am I going, Jeeks? Are you hacker man? Have you betrayed me? Doesn't have ads or anything. It's supported by donation. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's awesome. I can't move. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. Theory time? Yes, time to put on a tinfoil hat. Essentially, yeah. So essentially, alright, so TLDR. This is after Christmas, event-wise, quote-unquote. After the Christmas event, after Salem, after... Well, if you want to go to chronological order, assuming... Because if you guys don't know already, there's already a theory where... because you can go from season 1 to season 2, and season 1, season 1.5 to 2, there's two alternative routes. One is where you obtained the spoiler from Salem. The other is when you don't obtain the spoiler by Salem. I'm not going to say what the spoiler is because it is very important and it is a major key that will play a major role later on in the Lost Belt. Probably. I don't know exactly yet, but it is still a big theory. It's essentially, until we get to Lost Belt 7, we don't know if that key is going to unlock anything. But we know for a fact that if Lost Belt 7 is exactly predicted as it is and as it was, that key is going to play a big role. But anywho, forget about the key. Forget about the spoilers, X, Y, and Z. This is canon. This is before Lost Belt prequel. You got a mash little hat. And this, you got to remember, guys, I'm going to start spoiling all the stuff that, if you haven't played Season 1 already, make sure you do play and understand Season 1, because this, from here on out, is Season 1 and beyond spoil, but not Season 2 spoil. I'm not going to spoil Season 2 stuff, but I'm going to be spoiling Lost Room's meaning and what it's all about. So essentially what they're talking about after, this is going to be spoilers for prequel, but it's technically not, because it's the same conversation, but TLDR, they're just talking about what happens when Claudia gets taken over by bigger people, because, the quote-unquote, the last heir of Animosphere has disappeared / murdered / gone out of existence all of a sudden, and so they have to have a bigger, another big family take over it. So they're asking what they're going to do when they're done with their job. Yeah, the organization ties to the UN after all. That's right. It is interesting, out of all the people, Mr. Dustin gets named. Look at these fucking derpy ass animation. Is this an OVA? Yes, Autumn Blade. This is the OVA for 2 years ago, because last year, or 2019, early 2019 was the case file, prologue, or OVA of case file, where the prototype of case file was setting up. It wasn't in simulator. He locked in the entry or pantry by himself. Then I wasn't seeing things. There's a warehouse behind a control room, right? It was a break room before remodeling. If you guys don't know, currently, technically, Nobu and them are taking over this place. It's behind the boiler room. That's where Nobu, that's when Okita, that's where all the Guda Guda gangs are kind of hanging out at the moment. Is it? Did she say somewhere near the boiler room? Yeah, that's the lost room.
ちょっとした階段だ。午前0時に入ると失われたものを見る。あるいは失うものを見るなんて報告が多発してね。今では倉庫として忘れ去られた前所長時代の。
So this is the warehouse moonlight, right? So read what it says specifically here.
ちょっとした階段だ。午前0時に入ると失われたものを見る。
What? What? That's not the right translation. Wait, that's dumb. It's not the right translation. Wait, it says they say people disappear when they enter at midnight. No, it's you get to see people that you've lost if you enter it at midnight. It's essentially a place where you see what you've lost or what you could have seen. It's something that you've dissipated. It's a place of remembrance. It's a lost room. You remember what you've lost. And then from here, by the way, this is the point of view. This is the what if world. This is the world of if. This is the world of if. This is the lost room's perspective of what if Orugamari could obtain a servant. Now, from here on, I need you guys to... Alright, Benny. Alright, Benny. This is important. I need you guys to witness every single servant that's going to be fought. This is very important. Yeah, it was taking a little slow, Jeeks. It's all good. Thank you. So first appearance is your Lee, right? Young Lee Lancer. Loses to Rama. Notice Rama has not been sick. He has no disease, or for some odd reason, is in full shape. Notice the pile of celts that is on the ground. Right now they're at Washington. They're at the White House, quote unquote. It says, yeah, if you want to reorganize humanity based on the caste system, that's not fucking happening. And then notice everybody that's in behind her. That's very important. Easiest way to do is go like this. So saber-wise, saber-wise. It is her, Suzuka Gozen. This comes into the big theory too, right? I'll tell you later. Give me a second. It's very important. Because all those people have one thing in common. I know it's quiet. Give me a second, chat. I'm just kind of setting everything up for you. So you don't have to do the work. So I can just click, point, and then move on. All right. Little puppies and ice cream? Probably. I don't know about Emiya. But just Just look at the alignments. All right, ready? All these servants are evil alignment. Most of them are chaotic except Suzuka Gozen, which is neutral. Simultaneously, she's not in her full form. I think, is she in her full form? No, she's not in her full form. She's in like her second form. Every single servant that Orugamari is handling is a chaotic evil servant. That's very important because what a servant what a master holds describe who their person is. And if you guys don't know from the very beginning, there is a season. It says it even in the prologue that you also understand that Orugamari is evil. She's not a bad person, but do not forget that she's an evil person. It's not because of her personality, and she was kind of born this way. And she has been crafted and molded into how she is today. And in the sheer fact that all of her servants is two of the things. A, it's all the servants that we fight. It's all the servants that we fight against, and each of them can be put down to some of the singularities. B, they're on the side of Mebu and Ku, which we were completely up against. And then C, they're fighting Rama and Nightingale, which are the people who'd allied against. What she's completely doing is the exact 180 of what we've done. And let's continue. Yeah, so she says, I won't allow a society where my destiny is set in stone from the moment I was born. Chariot of my love. And then this is the what if. What if she had the power of becoming a master? That's very also important. Right? She's actually admitted herself, and this is the part where she has self-confidence. Understand that the Orugamari that we know does not have this self-confidence, right? Like, this is an alternative timeline where she actually has balls, does not rely on Levi. Specifically tells herself that I'm a Claudia's director, owner of the Celestial Body Department in the Clock. If we talk about master potentials, you all people shouldn't be that surprised. But look how she's looking at the face like that. And then look. This is skipping a bit. But essentially, just imagine this fight as now we're in Babylonia. Just essentially we're in Babylonia. We're technically not in Babylonia, but just keep it in the settings of Babylonia. Cass Gill and even Archer Ishtar is against Orugamari. What she fights them with? See, her experience from the ages of guards aren't needed. Too late to gods to claim ownership of. Notice that. Notice that. This is very important because this can technically be canon. It's essentially, it was all in her head. It was all a dream. It was all what she wanted to be. But as we've described it yesterday, right now she's in a constant purgatory state where she experiences death timelessly over and over and resets once more. This also explains a lot of stuff too. Like she's somewhere. She's seeing stuff. She's making things up. She's creating her own universe. She's asking them that if they were a good master. You gotta also understand, she doesn't have a potential as a master, period. This is important. A white hand grabs. Something has happened. And something is constantly ripping her apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 white beings that are constantly destroying her. Very important that we see a celestial segment here. Because look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Assuming there's 1 here. There's 5. And then she wakes up. Because right now it's midnight. We're in the lost room.
話の続きをいいかな。
レフ？ええ。どうぞ。何の話だったかしら。先日観測されたカルデアスの未明地点に関する話です。所長。そうだったわね。
Now this is I think this is a conversation that they previously had. This is essentially Orogamari remembering this conversation. It's at midnight. This is the lost room that she remembers.
これは由々しき事態です。現在まで定まっている人類史を乱す得意点になりかねない。教会と国連に何て報告すればいいか。
私は報告には早いと思うがね。
Levy, being the demonic pillar, buys time by saying it's too soon for that.
カルデアスの不調ということも考えられる。
You know for a damn well fact Claudius ain't broken.
2004年の本格稼働からもう11年だ。一度メンテナンスをしてみるのはどうかな。
それはできません。カルデアスは地球の魂をコピー、再出力した疑似天体。
Also remember, Claudius is a Persuado celestial body copying the Earth's soul. I like that. That's essentially what she said, TLDR.
一度回した以上、止めることはカルデアスの死と同じです。そもそも私のカルデアスに不備はないわ。問題があるとすれば、それは別の外的要因に決まっています。外的要因。
An external
カルデアス
fact.
に問題がないのなら、これを観測するレンズである芝の故障ということでしょうか。
おや、つまり私の落ち度だったのかな。確かに私の芝も10年稼働だ。あちこち理論が古くなっているのかもしれないね。
レフに文句を言ったのではありません。
That's very interesting to say, right? Mash kind of just says it straight off the bat. It says the Shiba might be faulty after all these years. It's been working for 10 plus years. and then maybe it's not working. Also, understand that Levy doesn't care anything after 2017. No, 2016. Because essentially, their plan of incineration of humanity starts and ends at 16/17.
あちこち理論が
So
古くなっているの
therefore,
かもしれない。
him saying that makes sense because he legit has not thought of anything else because the re-incineration of humanity is done by then.
レフに文句を言ったのではありません。管制室の職員の疲れとか、教会の嫌がらせとか、そういう可能性だってあるんじゃないかって。
スタッフの健康状態は万全ですよ。
And then here comes the fucking Mickey Mouse man.
僕としては所長にこそ人並みに休んでほしいですけどね。
It's really interesting too that in this entire anime, Romani doesn't show himself.
同感だ。
Romani never shows up. Only a finger pops up. It's as if he or she has forgotten about him. But we know from the straight up voice who it is. It says, you haven't been properly since we discovered the anomaly 1 week
ドクターの
ago.
診察を受けるといい。
レイシフト実験の報告書、これに伴うマスター候補生選抜の要請申請も通りました。所長には12時間の休息義務が生じています。どうかご自愛ください。
And then understand that this is MASH before Senpai or Fujimaru Ritsuka. So she's like all void. She doesn't know her existence. She's like essentially a mini Persuado puppet.
もう所長の代わりはいないのですから。
And then it's true. We don't have a replacement for you, director.
そうね。忠告として受け取っておきます。そういうレフ教授はしっかりと睡眠を取られていますね。早寝早起きでとても健康的だと伺っています。
ああ、カルデアに来る前は働きずくめだったけどね。
Because my work was very exhausting before coming to Claudia. I wonder what he was doing before Claudia, huh? It's not like he was a pillar or something, forehead. They're all chaotic evil, so Olga is evil? Well, no. Well, yes and no. Burning Messiah. You gotta also understand that if you go back to the very first of the Singularity, Romani specifically tells us, or, actually, was it Romani? It's either Romani or, oh no, you guys probably not gotten it yet. In one of the interludes, Romani specifically tells you during the Singularity F or even X, the confirmation that Olga Mari is evil. She's tries to be a good person, a very diligent and serious person, but in the end factor, she is an alignment of evil. And simultaneously, it backs up by every servant that you get, kind of correlates what servants you have. And if you guys don't know, like I've stated before, they're all chaotic. Well, they're all evil to extent. Evil to the alignment, most of them are chaotic.
芝が完成してからは夢を見ることもなくなった。
And then says, once I completed Shiba, I stopped seeing dreams. Meaning that after he completed Shiba, he's done his work. There was no future for humanity or for this humanity because of the new humanity was being created already.
おかげで夜はぐっすりさ。
That's why I can sound sleep at night. What about you,
僕
Romani?
は逆だな。こっち
See, I like how it says it.
もうなくなった。
Levi stops dreaming because Shiba got completed. Romani, on the other hand, he keeps dreaming ever since.
僕は逆だな。こっちに来てからは夢ばかり見る。いつも同じ。どうということのない夢だけどね。
Dreams are always different.
人理保障機関カルデア。私の父が創立した未来を保障するための機構。
See, an organization established by my father in order to ensure future. This is a pretty good translation here. And so essentially, we also got to understand Marusuberi. What the fuck happened to Marusuberi, which kind of explains episode 0. Something happened in episode 0 that made Oruzberi disappear. Whether he died, whether he went somewhere, X, Y, and Z, we do not know. But
私の家系アニムスフィアは遥かな昔から天体運動を研究し司る魔術師だ。
So the Animosphere family has been studying celestial bodies for a very long time, meaning that they looked at the stars, the constellations, the gods, the planets, the unknown for a very long time.
アニムスフィアの使命、一族をかけて成し得るべき命題、グランドオーダー。
And then also, we technically don't know what a grand order is. We know what it needs, what we did, what we had to do. But this grand order that she speaks of is a little different than the grand order we went through.
使命、一族をかけて成し得るべき命題、グランドオーダー。それはこの惑星の人類史の保証に他ならない。
Guarantee the history of humans on this planet.
私たちは人類史
We see it into the future to ensure that humanity history will continue beyond the present.
その先に未来が確かに続いていることを見る一族。未来を作るなんて大きなことは言わない。
We don't aim for something like big, like creating the future. Our mission is to guarantee that there is a future and pass that on to the
他の
other.
魔術師たちに伝え、保証するのが使命だった。
I like this. I really like this because if you guys don't know about mystic eyes and whatnot and all this eyes, simultaneously this eye is on fucking fire. Why is an eye that wants to see the future literally established and burning on fire? And Atmosphere created this mystic code, means the clothing. Or, yeah, this clothing of aka Persuader Celestial Body, Claudius. It's not quote unquote clothing, but it's a Persuado globe.
惑星に魂があると仮定し、
Assuming that the planet had a soul, we copy that soul and put it inside the model of the Earth.
その魂を複写し、
Meaning that while this is running, there's future in
このもう
humanity.
一つの地球に我々は干渉できない。
But we can't interfere with this second Earth.
位相が違うからだ。
That's because it's
けれど
phase
こうして
different.
見ることだけは
Still, it's possible to analyze it.
父はカルデアスの設
My
定
father can figure Claudius 100 years in the future.
カルデアスに文明の光が灯ってい
As
る
long as the light of the
人類
civilization
は100
shines,
年後も存命している
we can assume the survival of humanity onto the next 100 years. Now, this is very important.
位相未来を作る
It's essentially, this is our Earth, right?
大きなことは言わない
This is our Earth.
ただ未来はあるのだと他の魔術師たちに伝え保証するのが使命だったアニムスフィアはその結論としてこの魔術霊装を作り上げた疑似天体カルデアス惑星に魂があると仮定しその魂を複写し極小のモデルケースとして出力したもの
It's essentially, they said, we assumed a planet had a soul. We just slide that shit into a globe copy of Earth, and we can tinker with it to see the future.
このもう一つの地球に
But we can't interfere with this second Earth. This is a second Earth, meaning that there's two Earths at the moment. One that we live in, one that is a what if. A single globe has already created multiple problems that is already problematic to humanity. Because this apparently Earth cannot be quote unquote interfered with.
我々は干渉
Why?
できない位相が違うからだ
Because it phase it's different.
けれどこうして見ることだけ
But
は
it's possible to analyze it. But what if I tell you if you are able to manipulate it because you exited the plane of the first Earth, which is the Earth that Fujimaru and MASH currently resides in, and fused it into the second Earth, which is the Claudia itself, becoming the foreign god of Claudia.
父はカルデアスの設定を100年後に定めた
And then I really like the fact that it's like this because I'm pretty sure it's like that. Claudia, oh yeah, Claudia, yeah, it's Carudea, but whatever. Can we watch episode 0? We're not technically gonna be watching it. We're on Earth as a timeline in this episode. Easiest way to explain it is after Salem, after Christmas, before season 2. So it's like a really tiny segment. I wouldn't say it's super canon, but you can canonicalize it.
カルデアスに文明の光が灯ってい
As
た
long as the light shines in Claudia, we can assume the survival of humanity for the next 100.
カルデアスは同時に
The same thing works as Claudia as
地
the
球のライブ
Library
ラ
of
リと
Earth.
して機能した100年先である未来の詳細は観測できない
We can't observe in details the future of 100 years ahead
未来は変動するも
because
のだ
the
から
future is always changing.
が
However,
確定した過去の詳細
Details of the confirmed past
は
can be
引き出せる
explained.
いわば人類史の過去に
It's a
向かう
compass
際の
pointing
信
towards
頼
the
だ
past of humanity, so to speak.
人体を量子分解し
Successful rate of sending someone to the past by ray shifting after quantum decomposition,
その成功
raise
率は格
drastic
段に跳ね
thanks
上が
to
るだろ
Claudia. Essentially, we could time travel because Claudia is existent to see the past, to coordinate the past, to see if the compass is heading towards the right way.
父はこのカルデアスを作り上げこれを運営し観測する組織としてカルデアを作り上げた
Notice that everybody is moving except this white light, which was a great, that's
で
Animosphere.
魔術師だった人その父も3年前に私を残してこの世を去った
So for some odd reason, that was my father. He left me alone after passing away 3 years ago. Now that's during episode 0. Episode 0 talks about 3 years ago or somewhat to some degree. It talks about how it was more focused on MASH and how her journey throughout throughout 1 through 6 Singularity and her journey and her understanding up to the 7th one. But there were little side notes and side animation kind of hints given to us that Levi and Animosphere had a talk. Whether he got killed, murdered, we don't know. All we know is that he quote unquote passed away 3 years ago.
2012年所長室で遺体が発見されたのだ
Yeah, his dead body was found in his office back in 2012. We know for a fact either Levi killed him or something happened while discussing with Levi.
病死であったのか事故死であったのかは今
I
も
don't even know if he had an accidental death or if he had an illness. Something happened to him and then he died.
判明していない私は父の死後このカルデアを引き継いだ小娘だ父は私に何も残してはいなかったけれどアニムスフィアの魔術師としての信念は引き継がれている所長を引き継いでもうじき2年右も左もわからない小娘ながらようやく慣れてきたと思えたのにしかしなぜ100年後なんでしょう
And MASH asked an important question. Why 100 years?
それはどういう意味マッシュ
It could have been 50, it could have been
明日
10.
も文明は続いているという状況を見るだけなら1日後でも1年後でもいいのにと思いまして
対応時間だよマシュ仮に1日後に文明の光が消えていたらそれはもう手の施しようのない状況だ
And then Levi explains, which is
けれ
a
ど
very
1
nice
年後10年後の滅びだというのならそ それだけ対応する時間ができる。前所長が100年後と設定したのは、対応する時間を人類に用意するためだと思うよ。
なるほど。前所長はそこまで考えていらしたのですね。当然よ。お父様は思慮深く、また慎重な方でした。憶測や希望的観測で物事を進める人ではなかったわ。
そうだろうね。英霊召喚システムもこういう事態に。
So is it travel into the future? I don't know. Well, technically, yes. Yes and no. Because we technically can't see the future because the future is changing. But BB has provided and proved to the fact that you can travel to the future. But that's BB specialty stuff. That's like another fucking Schrödinger and like a whole giga theory that we gotta separate that shit. Now, this is gonna start to be important. This color differentiation is also going to be a theorizing thing.
備えて進めていたのだろう。過去に何らかの異常が発生した場合、現在にいる
Just at that moment, yeah, see you, Thunder. Peace. Yeah, it's essentially what it is that I wasn't around to CCC collab yet. Don't worry about the future. Don't think about it because, like I said, that's going to be a whole new Schrödinger's box. Like a whole new question, a whole new theory, a whole new thesis. Also understand that the BB is a new threat, if not a new creation that was made by humanity, which Gil has no clue of. Gil specifically tells you that she's one of the newer threat to humanity that he has not known of, even if he sees the future. But still, that's a whole can of worms. Yeah, that's a whole can of worms that we're going to be discussing later on. Right now, just go back to the OLGA Mari and how she could be the priestess, simultaneously why she's in her limbo, and why Lost Belt Room is a alternative reality and explains that in its own way. And it also explains some of the Lost Belt content.
であれば、直接その時代に赴き、問題を解決するしかない。
たとえ霊シフトが成功しようと、持っていけるのは魔術師の肉体だけ。
And notice this. Notice that eye shift. If anomaly emerged in the past, it would be impossible for us in the present to fix it.
制した場合、現在にいる我々に幹部の摘出は不可能だ。であれば、直接その時代に赴き、問題を解決するしかない。
So yeah, at least not if you don't go to that era directly to solve the problem.
霊シフトが成功しようと、持っていけるのは魔術師の肉体だけ。現地で頼れる武器は何もない。そのために英霊、サーバントが必要なのですね。どれほど変異しようと、それが人類史の延長であるなら、英霊は存在する。
Heroic spirits exist as they are an extension of humanity's history in spite of how much it can change. This is important because I can't say any further because this does come to an LB effect. Lost Belt kind of bends and mends and molds that terminology to its full potential. But anywho, understand that there is two lines in this room. One is blue, one is red. And if you guys don't know, whenever you try to expression something, and even during the Saber Wars 2 Nasuverse / Professor's Diary, he specifically says blue is an act of good if not lawful. Red is an act of evil, of chaotic. Meaning that there is good and bad, and then it's been Nasu likes to differentiate that specific stuff with simple colors like blue and red. Notice that Mash is in blue.
彼らの力を借りられるのなら、どんな時代であっても戦えると。
なるほどな。英霊は上位の霊的。
Notice where Romani sits. Romani sits in a position of red.
英霊の座はこの
Because,
次
you
元よ
know,
り上の次元
Solomon. And notice, little by little,
持っていけるの
look
は
at the
持ち主
red
の
color
使いだけ
scheme.
現地で頼れる武器は何もない
Slowly. Also, there is a red, a blue, and a neutral color palette. Right? Little by little, this
そのために
neutral
命令
color palette
サーバントが
disappears.
必要なのですねどれほど変異しようと
Look
それが
how
その
as
主の
red
延長
is
であれば
slowly
英
seeping
霊
in.
は存在する
You can clearly tell the red is seeping in. Little by little, red is moving towards the
な
blue.
るほどな。英霊は上位の霊的現象だ。英霊の座はこの次元より上の次元にあるものだからね。
And then it says Throne of Hero is a line, lies in a dimension above our own.
彼らは時間を超越するもの。
They're a being that transcends
カ
time.
ルデアのような人理保障の方式にはこれ以上ない協力者だ。だって契約さえしてしまえばどんな時代でも現れてくれる。
But notice here that in this room, Romani is in the red, but Orgamati is in the blue.
その英霊召喚システムはまだ安定していませんマスター候補生霊シフト適性を持つ
Oh no,
人材の
actually, not even. She's right in the fucking middle, chat. She's right in the fucking middle, showing all the color scheme. Not in blue, not in red. That's very fucking important. Because at this current state, Otogamari is between dimensions. She's still alive, but her soul is still not in the plane of Earth, not in the plane of heroic, in Hero, the Throne of Heroes. She's right dead center of middle of nowhere.
確保も重要ですがそちらもなんとか検証を進めない
And then now notice how blue is trying to take over red.
ダヴィンチがもっと協力的になってくれればいいんだがな。オルガ、彼、いや、彼女に工房を提供してあげてはどうだい？
時期尚早よ主を持たないサーバントは信頼できないしそもそも苦手なのよあの英霊次の成功例ができたら即刻退去させてやるわ
If we accomplish another 7, I'll have her leave immediately.
手厳しいな。ダヴィンチちゃんの方は所長を妹のように思っているなんて言いそうだ。
Okay. Hence why she explain why the power of history color is changing as the conversation goes on. The color changes and shifts according to the conversation. Remind me of Star Wars with the Sith and the Jedi. I think it's easier for you to remember it like that, lazy. Becoming Sith and becoming a Jedi is really a counterbalancing in its force. Sure, they both have this. They essentially come from one thing, being a Padawan, right? Or becoming understanding or an apprentice of learning the Force. The path you take is the path you choose, and then you taking that path chooses the destiny of you being a Jedi or a Sith. Same thing goes in here, just due to the fact that I can't tell you exactly all about it because Galimas would explain a lot of the minor details more specifically than I do because he's the FGO lore man than I am. I'm only just a speculator and a theorist. But it's essentially, as it goes on, the red and the blue is fighting over control for where Orugamari should be filled in, whether it's red or whether it's in blue. So far, she's staying neutral, right in that color. Therefore, she's the only one that can be seen in. She's right in dead middle.
英霊召喚の方はダヴィンチに任せればいいさ。私たちはマスターの
Let's consider this. If the post-Fuyuki situation happens and Olga soul bent and is bent between the colors, wouldn't it meet that blue represent the living and the red represents the dead? Sure, you can see Nasu-esque representation of blue being good, clean, and peaceful, and red being chaotic, evil, foul, hatred, living/dead fits. So what if the theory that we're trying to make here? Oh, the theory is that Orugamati is still alive. She could be the priestess. Simultaneously, why Orugamati is evil, and why Lost Room and Lost Moon, and what it's all about. Like, this thing had story galore. Like, I'm trying to explain what Lost Room anime was all about by just giving you the essentials and what you guys maybe missed or what he tried to tell you but we couldn't understand back then.
の選抜だ。A チームの選抜はあれで決定かい？オルガ。
Now, this is interesting because this is the A team. Notice how there is now no colors. There is no in the middle colors. There is either blue or red. And one thing is certain, Kiristaya is being highlighted. She can be highly definitional. See, look. There is right now, it's interesting too, because this is where things get weird. Because everybody can be colored, painted red, blue. It's essentially we have a blue palette here, red palette here, and a half light palette here. People at the very first wondering why this was. And then important thing she says. Yeah, we should have Da Vinci let her do the summoning. We can focus on the master selection. Olga, are you done with choosing a team? I recommend the 7 Maggies if an emergency arises. It was left by my father. Father ordered them to be called cryptors instead of masters. And then Mash points out a very important thing. Notice that Mash is still in the blue, and look how wide the differentiation between a red and blue is as of this moment. It says, I don't seem like it was made here in Cloudy. That. And then Olga doesn't know what that is too. How weird. It was supposed to be an under strict security. Don't worry about it. We don't use it anymore. Look at that. This is the only frame scene where there is no color. This is no color, chat. No color palettes, no nothing. It's a present from the Atlas Institute. You guys see that? That is well, if I were to talk about that, it's she's gonna explain it now, and then Levy's gonna explain it now. I don't want to explain it because it'll spoil a lot of stuff. But essentially, that's Paper Moon. A place where definitive weapons of the world of magic crafts are stored. A pit of taboo. The Atlas Institute. My father had a deal with Atlas. Based on it, they had to provide us with technology. That's how we got the Persuado quantum processor, Torisume. The other one was imaginary number of observation system of Paper Moon. A plain moon, perhaps. Notice, this is the first time him hearing about this. Levy does not know Paper Moon, but Levy sees a threat. He does not know, therefore he wants to know, right? He's all in ambitious. Notice this is the part where the blue is going over the red. It's a compass that allows you to demonstrate and observe imagery numbers of the realm.
カルデアスとの位相差を超える手段として用意されたもの
It was prepared to means to exceed Claudia's face
ら
contract,
しいわ。もっとも、もう使
although
い道はない
it
のだけど、
isn't needed anymore.
芝が完成した以上、
Because Shiba is now completed, we could accomplish race shift.
驚きです。
I'm
レイ
surprised.
シフト以外で得意点に干渉する手段があったのですか？
See, there was another way to interfere with singularities besides race shift. This comes in very important in season 2 because I'm not going to spoil it, but it's essentially Paper Moon becomes very important.
ええ、虚数空間にも
So what I missed so far? Isn't that guy from LB5? Kirishitaya? Yes. Everybody else is cryptors. Color shift is still representative. Olga faded to red, and then while he was still to blue. Yes, it's true. Since there are people don't, there's no color differentiation. But simultaneously understand that this was created by Atlas. But this is important too. This is a red palette scheme. Like I said, this is the only frame
の一つなの。
in the game, in the show, during the conversation, where there was no colors. When they talked about representation of Atlas, meaning that Atlas is complete. It's neutral.
アトラスイン。
Because everybody has, whether it's chaotic neutral, a lawful neutral, X, Y, and Z.
あの心臓部であるトリスをしてもらったの。その一つが疑似量子演算機。トリしいわ。
私
可能に
手段があったのです。しいわ。もっとも、もう使い道はないのだけど。
It's not needed anymore. And notice how the blue is shifting over the red real hard right now.
驚きです。レイシフト以外で得意点に干渉。
And now, interestingly, at this point in time, Levy is covered in blue. Now, it might just be a fluke of camera angle for a few seconds, but notice how Olgamari has been completely faded in red, and Levy got faded in blue. Perspective changes good and evil all the time. So this is why I like the Lost Room, because learning perspectives, understanding perspectives, it can change sides so easily.
干渉する手段があったのですか？ええ。虚数空間に潜ってから。
By diving into the realm of imaginary numbers to later resurface to a point Lucian. A zero
そ
sail.
して
Also,
可能に
notice Romani is still hidden.
ゼロセールと呼ばれていたわ。
そしてそれを可能にする船をシャドウボーダー可能にする
Now, look at this. It's completely blue, but when he says shadow
船
border,
をシャドウボーダーと僕らは名付けた。
now we're back to reality. Keep the secret.
そうか。私が芝を完成させたことで使われなくなった機会があったのか。
And then he specifically says this. This is an important part where Levy says, this is like the biggest big brain shit, because he says it, well, technically, Gatia says it during the trailer too. It says, there was a machine unused thanks to my finishing Shiba, huh?
確かにこれは盲点だ。
You got me there.
シアナとそしられても
I can't help but to feel that I wasn't really needed in the first
仕
place.
方がないな。
レフ？
何ただの干渉さ。
It's just a thought.
突然の告発だが、まあどうせ最後だ。これぐらいは気の迷いということにしよう。オルガ。
I don't like that translation, so I'm going to translate that for you. So it says, apparently there was a machine part that was being unused because of my completion of Shiba.
確かにこれは盲点だ。
You definitely got me there.
節穴とそしられても仕方がないな。
That the fact that I can't be helped that I wasn't really needed in the end. This is a decent translation.
レ
And then, yeah, she talks about Levy.
ただの干渉さ。
It was just a thought. It should have said it was an observation.
突然の告発だが、 どうせ最後だ。
See, it says it is a bit sudden, but instead of that's how things are, it should. He specifically says, well, this is the last time.
これぐらいは気の迷いということにしよう。
Let's just say it was, yeah, let's just say it took me by surprise. It did take him by surprise, meaningfully, but what he says is that let's just leave it at the way it is and keep it as it was a fiend ignorance. So essentially, Levy knew that it was a threat, but since he knew that it was the last time of humanity, he would overlook that just this once.
オルガ、私は1999年に近未来観測レンズシバを完成させた。マリスビリーの要請を受けてね。
That's when I accepted
そ
Marisabeli's
の時点で私
invitation.
の運命は決定していたんだ。
My destiny was determined at that moment
人類を救う。
to save
いや
humanity.
違うな。
No,
この
that's
星
wrong.
をより良いものにする。
Very important. To make this planet a better place. Notice that there is no word called humanity.
それが私の人生だった。
That became a goal of my life. Before and after this incident.
人間が築く未来というものは、とにかく多彩で変化に富み、
The future of the human build is versatile
だから
and
こ
keeps
そ安
changing.
定性がない。
There's no
人
stability
類という存
whatsoever.
在が素晴らしい大荷物を持っていても、小石でつまずけばご破産だろ。そういう危険を排したいと思っていたんだ。
That's exactly what I want to avoid. He essentially says, I'm going to remove the tiniest pebble called death.
私にできることは小さい。けれど、足元にある小石をどかせるぐらいはできるだろうとね。君はどうかな。
What
大きな
about
荷
you?
物になりたいのか。
Do you want to be part of that big
それを
burden?
持つ人間に
Do you
な
want
り
to
たいの
carry that burden?
足
Or maybe you want to keep away these pebbles from your feet.
元の小石をどかせる何かになりたいのか。
私はそのどれでもない。自分に人理保証なんて大役が務まるのか。
And this is very
なん
important
て大役
because
が
this is the reality of Orogamari, right? Like this is actually her. She's not brave. She's not strong-willed. She's a coward. This is big duty of presenting humanity only brings me anxiety. Completely opposite from what we've seen before, which is right
と
here.
いうことでしょうか。
Which is right here. Notice that she's full of confidence. She is balls deep.
持っているの？
Who do you think I am? I'm bossy girl.
この星はもう人間のもの。
Planet belongs to humanity. Oof. Right? That's big words. The planet belongs to humanity. Not for everyone, but human itself only.
アニメ
得意点に
定
And
して
then
いる
now back
とい
to
う脅迫観念だけ。この不安しかない
and。yeah, only
未
anxiety.
来の意味も価値も。
Notice that she doesn't give a damn about the future and its importance.
どうでもいいくせに。私にあるのは有能であることを示さなくてはいけないという脅迫観念だけ。
All I have is an obsession to demonstrate that I am capable of doing it. Notice how that she kept on looking at Fujimaru Ritsuka to get his approval of that she was doing stuff. Like, this is super big brain. Shimose, I highly recommend rereading the first chapter because a lot of the first chapter explains why she's evil, why she's chaotic, X, Y, and Z. But wouldn't she everybody as good? Yes, at that moment, but not in Lost Belt. What's the deal with Romani? Grand Order Episode 0 made it sound like he was hiding something, or was it spoiler? It's a little both. It's a little both. If you haven't finished the story yet, it is a little bit of both, my friend. So I highly recommend Season 1. Everybody that is in this chat room, I highly recommend you guys finish Season 1 of FGO, not Epic of Remnant. But season 1 at least, if you are with Epic of Remnant, that is perfectly fine because you are up to date. Season 1 is a very important minimum requirement for you to be here to try to understand what is happening with the situation and the theories and the explanation that I am giving you with. Speaking of that moment, do you guys think we'll get Solomon at the end of it? I want to say no, just because it is. A lot of people say it's going to be 24 episodes, but they specifically said they're going to do 21 episodes. They're going to show 21 episodes of anime, and that's it. Because Babylonia chapter only has 21 chapters. So they wanted to go exactly by the books. That mug position on the screen, you like it? Yeah, give me some of that mug, boy. Give me that cash money. Give me that cash money, boy. How do I move it? Jar of greed. There you go. There's my pot of greed, chat. Give me that pot of greed. There, I moved it so you guys can read. Forehead. Is this how plot relevant are ERA chapters? A lot. If you played all the Epic of Remnants, you essentially will have enough information to understand Lost Spell. Having a Epic of Remnant knowledge is crucial because all the singularities or all the essentially Persuado Lost Belts that you've played are crucial because every Lost Belt is condensed in one Lost Belt. It's very important. Salem is the biggest Lost Belt of them all because it was very, if not 90% similar to the shenanigans that you're about to face. But I won't go any further because it will be spoilers. And I really don't want to spoil the pre-season 2 because pre-season 2 is lit. 100%. I will live stream pre-season 2. I finished him Solomon a month ago. Haven't really started EOR yet. You don't have to understand the EOR. EOR cannot be played, and you can still do season 2. The interesting thing is you can finish season 1, and you can go straight to season 2. You can do season 1.5 and 2, but if you do 1.5 and 2, you will have much more of an understanding of what a Lost Belt and what that season 2 story tells you than you go from season 1 to 2. Because essentially, there's two ways of playing this. The two ways of playing the FGO now is that from season 1 to 2, and then for veteran players, it's season 1, season 1.5, and then season 2. And then if the people that played 1.5 will have a dialogue difference, an audio log difference, and answer difference, and you will have a bigger perspective and more knowledge about the second season than ever before. Which is, like, that fascinates me. Give me a second. I gotta, like, reload my fucking hot water, bro. I'm fucking rap-gotting this shit. It hurts my throat. But yeah, they push LB knowledge. It's essentially, if you played 1.5, you will understand more about Lost Belt than anybody else in the world. I don't want to miss my 30 sacreds, man. And that too, you know what I'm saying? It's just that I won't be able to do all 4 chapters. But Sun Tzu, you don't have to. It's that if you do Epic of Remnant, you'll just have more knowledge. That's the thing about it. You can just go season 1 to season 2, but I highly recommend you do and take your time and read and understand and just gain all the knowledge of Shinjuku, Agartha, frickin' Shilosa, and Salem. Like, it really helps out. Isn't this episode targeted to JP audience who are just before the release of LB5? No, because this was 2 years ago, right before Lost Belt started. So it's essentially, this is targeted for all the audience who've already played FGO all the way to 1.5 and are anticipating for the season 2. We didn't get a season 2, but we got a season 2 prequel right after at 1 a.m. FGO time during New Year's. Not last year, 2 years ago. You do not need to do 1.5 to progress 2. You can skip it. See. Alright, so let's continue on with the story real quick. OLGA already, this is our OLGA Mari. Understand that this is our OLGA Mari. She says, I have this obsession to demonstrate that I'm capable of this, right? She wants to be proven right. Every day is painful. There's no future for me. What will I do once the end comes? Is there a way for me to be happy whatsoever? Now this is us. This is Fujimaru Ritsuka perspective. So it's essentially, now this is all over. This is the present time. And then look at the time. It's very important. Checking the time is very important. Now it's midnight. Actually, it's midnight in 30 seconds. Oh, no, it's actually 2. Forehead. Is it 2 or midnight? I want to say midnight. It's interesting to note, too, because it's January 30th, 2015. That's very an interesting number. January 5th, January 30th, 2015. July 30th, 2015. Says, look at the time.
私はここで失礼するよ。これからとても忙しくなるので。
It says here, pardon my discourtesy, but I'll be very busy from now on. Incinerating humanity, you fucking bastard. And now he's leaving. OLGA Mari tries to stop, but the words don't.
君がOLGA Mariかい？私はレフライノ。よろしく。おや、握手はなしかい？いいさ、張り合いがある。信頼は得るまで時間のかかるものだ。
And then isn't it interesting? Even Lemmy is a evil bastard. In the end, he still cares about humanity and human relationship. Sure, it might have been bullshit at the time, but he still cares about it to a minimal degree. It takes time to trust others.
私の服装がおかしい。浮いている。それはそうだろう。一人だけ時代錯誤だからね。
Yeah, I'm the only here who's dressed old-fashioned.
でもこれは魔術師としての私の誇りでもあり、君たちアニムスフィアの歴史への礼儀でもある。
It's my pride as a magus trying to display courtesy towards the history of Animusphere.
たとえ近代施設であろうと、ここはアニムスフィアの工房だ。なら私一人ぐらい魔術師然とした男がいないとね。
He wants to act. If you guys don't know, this looks very similar to Solomon's clothing-esque. It's just a little more modern, though, but it's essentially whatever. It's an interesting thing to see. Already says goodbye, right? Goodbye, live. And then comes in Protag. Now, Protag does not see any of this. That was all from Marugari's perspective. Now we're in Protag's perspective. And now the first scene, look at the color you see before you. It's all blue. All blue. All blue.
おはようございます。先輩も
All
お元気
blue.
ですか？
なんだ、みんなここにいたのか。
This is the part where this is Fujimaru's point of view, but he's still dreaming. He's still in the lost room, meaning that at this very moment it's 12 o'clock, right? 12 o'clock and ticking. So he sees the person he's lost, which is Orugamari and Mash. Because technically, we did lose Mash.
飲み物を用意しますね。何がいいですか？
それじゃあお茶を。ここ失礼します。
It says, excuse me here. Same seat where Levi was sitting. Was that 2? I don't think that was 2, but it don't matter. Only restaurant I thought released was 2 3-minute ones. Yeah, there's a whole anime of it. It was shown during the New Year's anniversary. See, T goes in. We're still blue, chat. There is fire, there is red, there is thingy, but we're blue in the end. And notice how Protag is staring at Orugamari, but Orugamari refuses to face the facts. And then the fire dies down.
あなたに気を使うわけではないけど、珍しく暗い顔ね。何をそんなに悩んでいるの？
うまくできないことだらけで。
そうでしょうとも。あなたは数合わせでやってきた補欠だもの。魔術師でもなければ兵士でもない。ただの一般人。本来なら最後まで出番はなくて、戦う機会も与えられなかった。そんなあなたに人類の未来を守るなんて大役が。
それでも。
So notice how Orugamari just shit-talked our Protag. It says you're bottom of the barrel, you're scrap, an average Joe, not a magus, not a soldier, you're trash, you shouldn't be even in the battlefield in the first place, you were not chosen, but... Yeah, you were not chosen in the first place because Protag complained about how he can't get certain things done the way he wants to because he's the average Joe. But...
みんなに助けられるだけじゃダメだ。まずは自分にできることをやらなくちゃって。頑張って。
See? With all these hands beaten up, he still is working hard to do whatever he can.
あなた。
時間が経てば経つほどに、自分は凡人だって思い知らされる。どんなにトレーニングをしても、魔術の勉強をしても、たまにこうして一人になると、なんで俺なんかが他に適任者がいたはずだってそんな良くないことまで。
自分がマスターになったことを間違いだと思うの？他に人材がいないから仕方なくやっているって。
And then this is one of the few times where Fujimaru shows an emotion of depression, right? Like he says, I'm an ordinary man, I can't do anything. What am I going to do? What can I do? Somebody more suitable was meant for this, were for this.
ええ、いっそ潰してしまおうかしら。
でもまあ、何にもできないのはどうあがいても本当のことだし、そこからは逃げられないのならせめて強がらないと。
Notice that. Notice how Orugamari tried to kill Ritsuka emotionally. Was about to kill Ritsuka emotionally with that. They both have inferior complex, but one is different than the other. One says if you can't get out of the situation,
せめて強がらないと。
At least you got to make yourself stronger. It's not really like that. That's not an accurate translation.
せめて強がらないと。
It says, yeah, like essentially to translate that, it says, even if I can't be stronger, the better word terminology is at least I have to boast or pretend like I'm stronger. And then she's surprised by that because that is a beyond her comprehension because she's lived in a family of Maggie where X, Y, and Z are stabled, where this, that, and that is, you know, like a solid state, and you can't move on from that. Like, it's
凡
impossible.
人であるのなら、その平凡さを発揮しないとそれこそ役立たずだし。
It says, even as an ordinary person, I'll be useless if I'm at least don't show off my mediocrity.
俺は誰かの代わりじゃなくて、藤丸律香として、みんなの信頼に応えたいんだ。
Notice how she's pissed because she knows that that's not the answer that she would have gotten.
失望したわ。そんな弱音を口にする人間に人類の未来を預けているなんて。あなたに人理修復は荷が勝ちすぎる。私の判断ミスと言わざるを得ないわ。でも所長のおかげでここまでやってこれました。冬季でのオーダーも所長のおかげで完遂できました。
Now this is an interesting part because this talks about why how Olga Mari is still alive even after the Fuyuki order was completed.
フランスやローマ、オケアノスの得意点が消去できたのも所長のナビゲートのおかげです。私
See, interesting that even she says, I did that with you guys, meaning that this is an alternative timeline where Orogamari survived and became a navigator for Romani or became a navigator for, instead of Da Vinci, to help out the entire singularity.
あなたたちと
But she has no clue of it.
マッシュ、今西暦何年 ?2016 年5月1日ですが。
Notice that this is on the screen. She notices on screen, notices herself that she's still alive instead of being incinerated.
所長、また体の具合でもなんでもないわ。ありがとう、マッシュ。あなたとはもっと早くこうして話せていればよかったのにね。
And then she now understands. I regret not talking to you like this earlier. Really?
藤丸、そんなに怖いのにあなたはまだ諦めないの？
いや、まあ、諦めるのはもうちょっとへこたれてから。
そう。もう私には何もできないけど応援しているわ。
And then she specifically says there's nothing else for me to do, but I'll be rooting for you anyway.
たとえあなたたちの未来がどうしようもないものにすり替わっていたとしても。
Even if your future gets replaced by something completely hopeless.
ところで、あれは誰だったんだ？誰でもない。
Notice that! Notice how Fujimaru asked, who the hell was that person? Who was she? And then Galahad answers with, she is nobody.
彼女はこの未来にたどり着けなかったものだ。
She's someone who couldn't reach this future. Now, this is an interesting place because technically you can say that this is Fuyuki. He has Kyo. If I remember correctly, that was Gil and somebody else. That's Geronimo and David. That's right, yeah. Geronimo and David.
諦めろ。
It
君
says
たち
give
に
up.
守れる人類はない。
No order humans can. And Uashikamaru. Notice how Galahad is a shadow servant. Almost as if he can be tamed as a beast. Nah. He has a lance, by the way. And notice in this realm, we have Artoria Mordred, alternative Artoria on our side. Understand that Saber Mordred Alter was an enemy. But this time, for some odd reason, she's our ally. And then the battle concludes with Litsuka losing.
遥かな未来。
Listen. Drifters who came from faraway future. No, from the correct history.
いや、正しい歴史から訪れた漂流者よ。君た
Isn't it interesting how he explains that? He says, Drifter that came from the correct history, you guys can't win. It's over,
ち
Anakin.
に勝機はない。人
He
間の
has the
世界
higher
は滅
ground.
びる。そのように未来は決定した。そんなことを言ってたやつを知っているよ。でも、それは机上の空論だった。人が戦う者が残っている限り、未来はいつだって白紙だ。滅びてなんかいるものか。その通りだ。文字通り未来は白紙になったのだから。燃えるものがあるならいい。残るものがあるならまだマシだ。けれどこの星はその残滓すら手放した。人類は手詰まりだ。これが1年後の未来。君たちが人理焼却を破却したことで確定してしまった。これからの地球の姿。かつて魔術王はこう言った。何もしないことが君たちの幸福だと。その言葉をもう一度繰り返そう。僕たちの歴史は未来に続くことはないのだと。俺たちが人理を修復したから。
Dun, dun, dun! Isn't that crazy? This is some big fun. So how you guys knowing so far? Was that Muttersbetty? No, that is freaking Galahad. You gotta understand, Galahad is a servant, Burning Messiah, so technically he has the same ability to go through playing fields. Now that he has taken the, well, can't really say that because that's spoilers. X, Y, and Z spoiler alerts. Yeah, he's quote unquote servant. He's a servant now. We don't know for certain that he's gonna be a servant, but we're kind of already predicting at Lost Belt 6 that he's gonna come in as a servant. We don't know for sure, but we know for sure. It's one of those not confirmed, but already know that's going to happen. Why are you so confused? It's if you don't know what every servant that was, let me explain to you. Each of the servants, if you don't know, are the welfares that you get during the singularities.
もうちょっとへこたれてから。
たとえ
誰で
Kyo, I think she was What was she? Was she the very first Singularity welfare? I think so. Yeah, Orleans. David Geronimo. David's from Okeanos. Geronimo's from America. Uashikamaru from Babylonia. Jekyll and Hyde from London. And he got lucky with Finmakuru. Finmakuru was a cool man, decided to help him out. He got a lucky 4-star. And then I'm pretty sure, I think Mordred Saber, Saber Alter is one of the few rare servants that you could have gotten as a free 4-star. Imagine just him pulling her off the bat. Just because he got lucky. Every servant that he had was a welfare servant that was played out during... that you got it for free. Yeah, they're the helper servant. Welfare from Babylonia was Jagaman. Well, instead of Jagaman, it was Uashikamaru. Just think of it like that. Every servant correlated into at least one of the servants. You get what I mean? And I think the reason why Jagaman was not in place is, I think, due to attribute differences. Like, attribute plays an important role in Lost Room / Paper Moon. Yeah, chaotic neutral. Uashikamaru is chaotic neutral. Okay, well, I think it was easier to animate Uashikamaru more than Jagaman, in my opinion. Just because if Jagaman were to be there, it would have killed the seriousness, I think, in my honest opinion. Because imagine just fucking this shit coming out of nowhere and you beat the shit out of her. Like, people will be actually fucking raged. And this busting her out, just imagine, this is a serious shit. You put her out, shit goes out the window. So I think it was a smarter choice to put Ushi, just because Ushi will look serious and she's more combatant more than a joking character. That's why I think they swapped it for Ushi. But essentially... they're all 3 stars, aka you can get them for free. And then he specifically says, listen, Drifter who came from a faraway future, no, from the correct history. This translation is correct. You can't win. Humanity would be destroyed. The future has already been decided. It's already been decided. Why was it decided? I knew someone who said that too. But it was just an empty theory in the end. I'm a little sad that he didn't really say Gatia, but Gatia, Gotea, whatever. It's essentially, he knew a man long ago that said the same thing, and he's, there's always future will be a blank sheet as long as there's somebody willing to fight. Won't let it happen. And then Galahad agrees. You're right. Because the future literally became blank sheet. It would be better if something were to be even incinerated. Because at least there'd be something to do. It even let go of the residues. Humanity is at a stalemate. This is future of 1 year. This 1 year from now, that was decided once you stop the incineration of humanity. Because of the incineration has been stopped, humanity has no future. So that will howl the planet. King of Mage said
何
this
も
one.
しないことが君
It
た
would
ち
be
に幸福
happier.
だと
Yeah, it'd be happier by
そ
not
の
doing
言
it.
葉をもう一度繰り返そう。僕たちの歴史は未来に続くことはないのだと。俺たちが
Because we restored
真理を修
humanity.
復したから。
起きなさい、藤丸くん。
すみません。
This was all a dream, right? Sorry, I overslept. But
俺
who was he talking to?
荷物を置きに来ただ。
So this entire sequence, if you didn't watch it carefully or doesn't have a theory at it, it can be set aside as it was all a dream sequence, right?
なのに寝込んじゃったな。カルデア中後片付けて大変なのに。
And then somebody stands aside, staring.
先輩お部屋にも食堂にもいらっしゃらなかったので少し心配しました。倉庫の方に行っていたのですか？
うん。今まで使っていたシーツとか食器とか。
Yo, what's up, them? Oh, you're right. There you go. We didn't get one for, whatchamacallit then?
はい。
Orleans.
天候が回復次第ヘリコプターで船は海岸に停泊中です。
そうか。ほんとこの1年いろいろあったけど楽しかった。ありがとうマシュ。こんな平凡なマスターをずっと支えてきてくれて。
そんなお礼を言うのは私の方です。私の方こそ先輩のずっと何倍も支えられてきたと自負しています。
Oh. Oh. And then the end. Right?
サモン会の意図は明白です。旧カルデアは解体され、スタッフは一新されるで。
Yeah, so this is very well. This is gonna be mini spoilers to season 2, but essentially, they don't really explain it, but they kind of explain it. But essentially, the old Claudio will be disbanded and the staff will be renewed.
私も先輩と同
Wonder
じ
if
場
I'll
所
be
に
able to be in the same department as you, senpai. Oh,
そもそも
wait a minute.
先輩はカルデアに
Will
残
you
ら
stay
れ
in
るのでしょうか？
Claudia in the first place?
日本のご実家に帰られるのでしたら、ぜひ住所を教えていただければ、新年のご挨拶状などをお送りしたいので。
I really wish that, well, because there's a theory that theory slash like a fanfic side story that people are doing that where Fujimura actually returned to Japan, lost all his memory, all his abilities, X, Y, and Z, and spent a regular life. And then from there, he gets attacked by servants, he gets attacked by everybody, mages, and then Mash comes to the rescue. And then essentially Mash, being all trained up, tries to save Ritsuka and then bring back to his former glory. And then like he finds people and servants on the way, and then mages and betrayals and all that. It's pretty cool stuff, the fanfic side. But it would have been cool if they went that route too.
もうすぐサモン館がやってくる。このカルデアで過ごした信じられない日々はそれで終わりだ。この先どうなるか自分にはわからない。
Very important.
マス
Yeah.
ターで
These scenes is very
ス
important.
タッフとしてカルデアに就職できれば嬉しいけど、そううまくはいかないだろうし。でも何があろうと、どれほど未来に不安があろうと。
Oh, from here, spoilers. So I can't really show you guys. From there is actual game spoilers. So I don't really want to show it. So, when did Sherlock get here? During Shinjuku. If you don't know, it's during after Salem. It's essentially. Yeah, this is why you should play Epic of Remnant. Yep. Like, you don't have to understand Epic of Remnant to get to season 2, because they'll kind of TLDR it a little bit, and then what they'll tell you is that we were able to successfully summon another servant, and this person seemed willingly to help, wanted to help out Protag, and that was Sherlock Holmes. I just finished Solomon, though. Well, go step right into Shinjuku, boy. See, I'm gonna let you know right now, Sansu. Attitude like that will you'll never play Epic or Remnant, because I said the exact same shit for Salem. I still haven't played Salem to this very fucking day, and NA finally has Salem. So big forehead. Sherlock also appears in Camelot. This is true. Sherlock also appears in Camelot as a caster. He returns to Shinjuku as a ruler. Sherlock does come in and specifically says X, Y, and Z. Hello, hello. I found and touched the Toraisumegi Mesu, and then knew what was going to happen and then understood all. Or there's a theory that every ruler has a enchantment mini madness of enchantment within them that goes beyond their control, which is quite interesting to think, because it's essentially, if you look at every ruler, they're technically crazy in their own aspect, in a sense. You get what I mean? So there's a lot of speculation that Galahad could be a ruler, or Galahad could be a lancer. He could be another 5-star shielder. Redacted, yeah. It's like literally from here. I'll show you the spoilers. Look, fucking feast your eyes on spoilers. Look, I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna like stop at this specific time to cook you guys. There we go.
大抵は骨折り損でこんなこともあるさと笑ってごまかすのが日常だ。
Alright. I can't spoil you any more than that. All right. Galahad could be the same class as Muramasa. You right. Alright, so this is the spoilers, how I can go. Fucking UNs are coming. Yep. UN are coming. And Koyanskaya is coming. Somebody else you just don't know. It seems like a priest. I don't know why a priest would be here. But other than that, this is the end of The Lost Room. Well, I didn't really. So essentially, this lost entire room can be served as a dream sequence if you want to think about it. But I think and I believe that was the first run of FGO Lost Belt, and we have completely lost. And then what we're about to experience is a second run of Lost Belt, and that Lost Belt will have some definitive impact. The reason for that says I will tell you when we get to Lost Belt 4 in NA. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. If you guys enjoyed it, if you guys enjoyed that theory, make sure you click on that follow button. And if you want to support my stream, hit that subscribe button for more shenanigans like that. So any questions so far, chat? Because we explained how what the Lost Moon / Paper Moon was all about. Oh, are you talking about this guy? I can't click start because it's going to spoil. So, canonically, he's the offspring of an Apocrypha of that dude's Apocrypha's kid's kid. Alright? I can't spoil you. Alright, listen. That's why I said Lazy Thunder. He could be a Lancer, he could be a Ruler, he could be a Shielder. He could be all three things simultaneously because he wielded all three of them. Or he has a Noble Phantasm that maybe that can change class like Jaquil and High, but it's just more fucking efficient. Wait, they're not the same person? That's news to me. Oh, sorry. Yeah, they're not exactly the same person. If you guys don't know Case File, there was a screen moment for the kid. There was a kid of him during Case Files, and he is the offspring of that Apocrypha's dude. It's not like a direct offspring. Just make it like a couple generations down. I thought it was just a figure and timeline difference, basically. Because you got to remember, Mr. Kadra, Apocrypha is like a completely segmented timeline from our timeline. That Apocrypha is a legitimate, has its own timeline. Like, that Apocrypha is a completely different timeline from the FGO timeline. And then, like I said, I don't want to spoil it too much, but essentially, it's essentially TLDR. You'll learn about it in preseason 2. That's why I didn't want to really show you guys those people, because y'all would question these shenanigans. You're going to learn about it during preseason, so don't worry about it, which is going to be this Christmas. This New Year's. I'm really upset that DW hasn't said anything about voiceovering Lost Moon and Paper Moon, Lost Room or Moonlight, because this is a very important anime if you are diehard, tryhard theorist in FGO, because this entices people to know more about season 2, because this happened, then a couple hours later the preseason happened. Preseason 2 event happened, which was so fucking hype because everybody saw this first. How different is FGO timeline compared to Fate Stay Night? We follow Fate Stay Night timeline. I don't know which route we went, but we follow one of the Fate Stay Nights timeline. Just due to the fact that we, as Claudia, use if you know, I'll be right back. Give me a second. If you guys don't know, at the very beginning, I don't need your fucking help. At the very beginning, it shows not here. Just enjoy the VOD real quick. I'll be right back.
カルデア全職員に伝達します。本日の基本勤務は17時までとなりました。司令官代理からの粋な計らいとのことです。クリスマス休暇とはいきませんが、各員十分な休息を取ってください。また、到着の遅れていた査問委員会ですが、天候が回復次第来館することが決定しました。到着予定時間は明日の12時。各員現カルデアスタッフとして節度と誇りのある応対を期待します。私たちの業務は2017年をもって新スタッフに引き継がれますが、それまでは責任
いよいよサモン会の始まりか。お前たちはどうするんだ？時計塔からの出港だったんだろ？
ロンドンに戻りますよ。そりゃあ不満はありますけど、いつまでも今の状況でいるわけにいきませんしね。ここ一応国連所属の組織なんですから。
私は残りたいです。いい機材揃っていますし、1年間守ってきた愛着もありますし、そもそも今からやってくる人間にカルデアが運営できると思えません。お疲れ様です。ダストンさん、少しよろしいですか？
いいとも。何かあったのかな、キリエライト君。
先輩を藤丸律香候補生に伝達があるのですが見当たらなくて、通信も切られているようなのです。
藤丸君？そういえば食堂では見なかったな。
医療室にもシミュレーターにもいませんでしたよ。自分戸締まりしていましたから。
じゃあさっきのあれ見間違いじゃなかったんだ。 管制室の裏手の倉庫エリアがあるでしょ。元は休憩室というかサロンだったのを改装した。あの辺りで律香くんっぽい後ろ姿を見たのよね。
情報ありがとうございます。ですがその奥の倉庫に問題でも？
いや、職員はめったに近づかないってだけさ。あの辺りはロストルームがあるから。
ロストルーム？
うん、ちょっとした階段だ。午前0時に入ると失われたものを見る、あるいは失うものを見るなんて報告が多発してね。今では倉庫として忘れ去られた前所長時代の遺物だよ。
カーストによる人類の再生理などさせるものですか。生まれた時点で運命を定められる社会なんて私は認めない。行きなさい、まさか。
That's a big chest. All right. Any questions so far, chat? That Otogamari A is evil. B, there's a higher chance that Otogamari could be the priestess. C, that lost room and light, moonlight. Severe is a very important, very important structure. I think that I saw this. Let's play it. Omega lol. There. Happy. 10 times bigger than anybody else's. It's just animation. Just an animation shenanigan.
当然でしょ。私を誰だと思っているの？
I want Olga to be good. No, she's evil.
天体化の現当主、オルガマリー・アニムスフィアよ。
She's evil 100%, okay?
マスター適性さえあればこの通り。あなた一人に得意げな顔はさせないわ。
Has JP actually mentioned Celestial Body at the end of Lost Room or not yet? Everything. Everything has been mentioned during FGO. FGO technically mentions it right off the bat. In their very beginning. Can we get to YouTube, please? Yahoo Mail. The fuck? Why am I in Yahoo Mail, bro? Fate. Grand Order. Beginning. La 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 la. There is none. What the fuck? Does nobody want to do the fucking bruh? Bum 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 bum. Sorry. What up, J Soul? How you doing? Master Olga belongs to the timeline where Rama became a grail holder for room. What is it? Negative. I don't think so. Maybe. It could happen. But also, interestingly, stare at this though. Oh, yeah, let's fucking check that. Let's check him out. Let's check him out. Yeah, he's neutral evil too. So he's the same as Suzuka, neutral evil. Still has an evil alignment. You just gotta understand, Otogamari is evil. I believe. Well, no, he still has the same objective as. He's pretty sure he has the same objective with 4. He doesn't have the Holy Grail. Maybe he does. I don't know. But you gotta also just understand a different perspective. Every servant she has here is evil of alignment. I believe one's neutral in the top side of the alignment, and then Li Shuan was also a neutral evil. But in the end, everybody has a evil alignment. Most of them is chaotic. And notice she's fighting with a bazooka. Isn't that interesting? We fought bazooka. We were with Nightingale. She's doing exactly the opposite that we're doing. Shoujo! You see how fucking cocky and confident she is? Bruh. I saw you playing Battletech the other day. Do you like it? Oh, I liked it. I'm gonna play more of it later, for sure. Like, when I get my days off, I'm gonna farm and then do some Battletech post show. Post show! Give me a second, let me farm here. I haven't farmed in like 5 minutes. Talking to you guys and explaining things. If you watch the whole thing, you see definitely a lot of mention of American Singularity. True, true. Ooh. I think she's acting that way. This is where you're wrong. Sanju, I thought you were with me, bro. This is all in her fucking head. And then this, technically we're still in America, but just think about it that we're going through each singularity and fighting for it, right? So now Caster Gill is our enemy. Archer Ishtar is our enemy. If you don't know that crest, oh my god, can I spell? There we go. Oh my god, is that H?
そうね。そうよね。やっとわかったわ。私は怒るべき時には怒っていいのね。あなたはいつか私が怒るのを待っていたの？トリシャ。ゴッツ。
Ah! That's right. And simultaneously, this phrase that she says is very important. Remember this line, and I'm going to show you the trailer of season 2, which don't worry about it, you're going to get it later. Give me a second. Right? You heard that, right? You heard that, right? Let me show you Lost Belt Season 2. This is the... No. I need a CM, damn it. I need a commercial. This is the commercial that played 2 years ago, so technically it won't be spoilers for you. This one. This one showed up right at the middle. All right. You ready for this?
Stars, cosmos, gods, animus, antrim, ambas, anima, animus sphere.
Chat, we're only 8 seconds in the game. We're only 8 seconds in the trailer.
Ambas, animus sphere.
Do you see the similarities of bullshit that y'all hearing right now? Hmm? The sheer fact that the very first of Cosmos and the Lost Bell shows starts off like this.
Stars, cosmos, gods, animus, antrim.
Stop the voices, sugoi arimasu. That translation's trash, bro. Let me change it to English. Oh my god. The auto-generated English too strong, bro. Oh, they didn't translate this part. Oh, I see. But essentially, here you go. So that, like, this itself, yeah, this itself already proves that for some odd reason OLGA is going to be involved in this. And then a lot of people has a theory of that the priestess of the goddesses is Orogamari is because within the following of I don't know. Here. Forehead. Oh yeah. So like if you don't know Kita-shan, make sure you guys go follow Kita-shan or Kita-shan. I don't know how to pronounce this fucking name. I do apologize. Make sure you go right here, click that subscribe button, and then go for Kita-shan's FGO theory, where he explains most of the stuff. Is Olga Mari, priestess of the aliens, a god? This is theory, so do be careful, everybody. So we're going into giga spoiler territory, but it's all good. She got a celestial body? Yeah, pretty much. Gilgamesh Castor, by the way? Yeah, that's very important. Ideal self apart from actually being a master thing. But she's still herself, not like her ideal self apart from actually being the master thing. See, what you saw in this video is the ideal picture of what she wants to be. Alright? A confident, self-perplexed, but she then realizes, you know, like she falters a little bit. Too late for gods to reclaim ownership over it, damn it. Because notice in our timeline, Orogamari does not have a servant aptitude. Can't summon servants, can't shown servants. Archer and caster has been killed. Notice we still have our summoning crest. And we're pretty sure that like Mash is the only servant besides Arashu is the contract. I'm pretty sure this is currently where she is at during Purgatory. Oh, you know what? The fucking snow is in the way, huh? Omega lol. But essentially, yeah, I can't delete that because I have to like recode all the fucking snow. So just forgive me. Snow is fake. Just this is a complete pitch black. Like you see how she look like even though she's confident right there, that's not really her. This is the really her. A worrisome, troublesome, a very thought process of what others think of her. And then something's ripping her from the inside. There's 5 people involved. I want to say it's the 5 celestial bodies. Just because if you guys don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Imagine there should be 1 here, which makes it 5. If not a 6th one into the beginning. 5 to 6 celestial stars ripping her apart for some scraps and possibilities to try to obtain the research or her quote-unquote magic core. She's being remade. Yeah, that could be true. That could be made true. She's being killed. Because right now, if you guys don't remember, FGO of Fuyuki. Not theme, but just... Oh, there we go. See? Perfect. Oh, my fucking dicks. This is very interesting, too. Base sequence, human genome confirmed, right? Alignment, lawful neutral. Welcome to the database Future of the Mankind. This is a security organization to preservation of humanity of Claudia. This is important. You guys probably skipped this shit 5 million times to get new accounts and whatnot, and you got sick and tired of reading this. But these few opening lines is actually important. Fingerprint, voice print, and DNA authentications are all clear. Magical circuit seems to be completed. Username match. You're recognized as a member of Primates. Notice how it specifically says you are recognized as a member of Primates. Important. Nice to meet you. You're our final visitor. We hope you enjoy your time here. Forehead. We are very sorry. Another 180 seconds is needed to complete the administration project. Something happened. Something weird happened, and it's telling us that we need 3 more minutes to complete the admission process. Something bugged already. Enjoy a simulated battle while you wait. Regulation Senior. Contract servant. Why is it Regulation Senior? But it says contract servant, saber, lancer, and an archer. There will be no record. There will be no record of your score. Please feel free to enjoy. No record. Activating heroic summoning system Fate. We hope you have a good experience as a master for these 180 seconds. Oh, kyung. This is after the tutorial. We meet Falcon. Falcon wakes us up. What's that sound? Little fucking rascal woke us up. Dots. Who are you? Where are we? I have a proper name and never in a first impression. We've already known this. Falcon. And then Levy, Claudia, elected, selected. Tend your garbage, trash, regular. Blah blah blah. Just shit talking us. If you will stand back in the corner, would be good. Just that's possible. Sometimes I fall asleep another way. I should tag along as well. That what you want to do? You have no other question. Let's head to the command room. Why she called me senpai? Don't worry. To her, everybody is senpai. You're in the front row. Taking an empty seat, front row. Senpai, you're looking a bit pale. pale. I'm so sleepy. It's an after effect of the simulator. I wish I could take you to the infirmary. That's bullshit. You cannot get that from a simulator. You look pale because you are running low on mana. No more small talk. The orientation's already. This is when we see OLGA for the very first time. It was in time, but we're all here now. Welcome to the special organization of Claudia, OLGA Ionosphere. Right? You have been selected or discovered from each nations for your rare blah blah. Hit him with the snooze sack. We got our ass awake. You alright, senpai? It seems you were in REM sleep. Left out of the first mission. I'll be taking you back to your room. Oh, watch out! Oh, good! Pokemon was about to attack. Well, likes to attack my face, slide around my back, and then settle on the shoulder. Alright, so then everybody gets introduced. Da 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 dun 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 dun. Everything is burning down to crisp. System cooling. What was that explosion just now? Oh my, oh my. I'm really glad that they animated well on the very first one. Who had my worries? I made it somehow. Spirit wanted me to eliminate the cause of humanity. Senpai will soon reach the point that doctors specifically told. There are flames that I conceived. There's nothing like Fuyuki in our data like this. According to our data, it's an average regional city. There's no record such disaster occurring this bad in 2014. The mana density in the atmosphere is almost abnormal. In fact, it's a lot like ancient Earth. Yeah. What was that screaming? I'm getting a bad feeling on this. The woman screaming for sure. Let's head over. Running, and OLGA is fighting herself. See? How you see how her personality? It's just come save me, Left. You're always there for me, right? You're always there whenever I need you. She's a fucking coward. She's a scaredy cat. Nothing wrong with that. You two, what in the world's going on here? People die if they're killed. It's true. It's true. Important monkeys. Don't need to reroll if you're well. True. True. The announcement's about Olga? No, the announcement is about you. This whole fucking alignment shit, that's you. You're a lawful neutral. Because OLGA is chaotic evil. 100%. Welcome to the data center of the future of mankind. This is a security organization and preservation of humanity, Claudia. Enjoy a simulated battle while you wait. I kind of wanted to see you guys see the simulated battle. Because the simulation battle was supposed to be a replication of Fuyuki's Grail War, which should have been Saber, Lancer, and Archer of Emiya, Kuhuding, and then Artoria. But for some odd reason, instead of Artoria, Arash came into play. And then this is System Fate, meaning that it replicated Fate's Stay. Well, not exactly which Fate's Stay night it was. I don't know which route they went for. But we know for a fact something happened in 2004, which is during the Fate's Stay area. And in Japanese, which guy's neutral good? Yeah, that's lawful neutral. Well, if this is Ritsuka's alignment. This is your alignment. If they already, yeah, this is lawful neutral. That's their alignment. This is not Otogamari. This is you. This is tutorial. Remember? Tutorial. That's you. Why are you confusing yourself? Yeah, Arash. It shouldn't have been Arash. It should have been Emiya. Because it was modeled after the fate. I think Luki's in FGO after 0 when Grails burned down. Negative. Because right here proves that wrong. Where is it? Oh, do you read me? Massacre Light. Finally, hello. Do you read me? This is Massacre Light from F Singularity. Compared to my mind, racial capability, master capability, both satisfactory. Gets rationed as ratio 2. I'm glad you're safe too. What's up with that outfit? Transformed in this. I'm formed. Oh, please check my condition. Whoa. It improved. You're now a servant. Pog, because she's technically dead. Pog. Where is... The reason why... So yeah, there's only flames as far as I can see. It's like nothing like Fuyuki on our data. So on your data or on our regular data, this is not the Fuyuki that we witnessed. And the 0, did 0 happen in 2004? I don't think so. I think Fate Stay Night happened in 2004. According to the average data, it's a natural region of city. There's no record in such a disaster of this recording. Her alignment canonically states by Romani that she's evil. We don't know what evil what, but all we know for a fact that she is canonically on the scale that she is evil. If this video hasn't already proved to you that she is evil, yeah, if she didn't already tell you that she's not a fucking prick, yeah, like Romani kind of says it in FGO too. I don't know if it's during one of the interludes or one of the main missions. That's what we're trying to figure out. I'll explain to you in detail the current mission and new goals. Our data. According to our data, it's an Aboriginal region city. No record of such disaster occurring in 2004. Fate Stay Night never happened. There's no record of Fate Stay Night ever happening. The mana density in this atmosphere is also abnormal. In fact, it's a lot like Ancient Earth. Ancient Earth. The only time an Ancient Earth mana-like subsidy came in was during two places. Was during Lost Belt and during Babylonia. Those are the two times that it was mentioned that the mana density is almost like Ancient Earth. The Grail does not have that much power of capability to create an Ancient Earth-like mana. It can create an abnormal amount of mana, but it is not the abnormal amount of mana that you can detect. And the Grail's mana is more toxic, strong, and it would devour anything, right? The Grail's mud, the quote-unquote Chaos Tide. It's not Chaos Tide. So this already proves that something happened in 2004. Babylonia is Ancient Earth, though. Yeah, because of that, it has ancient mana. But for some odd reason, this place has ancient mana. Little spoilers, every Lost Belt has some sort of ancient mana. And so there is a theory that Fuyuki F was actually a Lost Belt before something happened. Machine, let's go for sure. Don't ask me why I'm afraid. I'm not cut out for this job. There's nobody else. OLGA Mari currently surviving full stop. I think right around. Whenever Romani talks about it in the bridge. See, perfect. I like nothing better to go back to just going on to time after the discussion. You're not very smart, are you? Remember what happened in the command room? Senpai, it's probably about when you dozed off in the command room, forehead. It'll come back to you if you focus. That was you. Huh? Please take any available seat in the front row, right in front of the director. What a bad luck. Double dot. Let's cut to chit chat. It's about to start. Not quite on time, but it looks like everybody's here. Welcome to Special Organization Claudia. I'm the director of Atmosphere. You have been selected by talent. I mean, you have to do for Spiritron. People with magical circuits capable of becoming masters. Forehead. Sure, you can't imagine it, but be sure to keep that in mind. You are about to be reborn as a cutting-edge mages in an unprecedented fusion of magicraft and science. That said, although all of you possess special talents, none of you are special, Forehead. Understand that you're all inexperienced rookies standing at the same starting point. In particular, mages sent from the association still seem to be acting like students. Fix that immediately. Claudia is my domain. Heritage, personal achievements have no meaning here. Always remember that my orders are absolute. My position is completely different from yours, Forehead. I won't allow arguments. You're a mere tool to protect humanity, nothing more. Understand that she says you're a mere tools to protect humanity. You're nothing more. The way she says it is quite crude. What's the commotion? Didn't I tell you that I won't allow any arguments? You there, one with the who came in late. Do you have any problem with what I just said? Yawn. Hit her with the. Hit him with the. Hell yeah, baby. Gets kicked out. I'm not sure if someone who gets a bad attitude evil, right? So here is very important. We're a special organization of national support created to prevent humanity from reaching a quote-unquote bad end. You sure know a lot, Smash. Anyway, that's pretty much it, you know? Oh! It's true that Claudia receives financial support across the globe, but majority of that comes from the Mages Association in London, from an Atmosphere family, Director Olga's family, specific. Claudia is a research organization, but it's due to its importance operates on a military level. Extreme strict rules and punishments to everything, so the director's actually reserved. Director isn't a villain, but she's evil. She'll get rid of any staff member that she doesn't like. Well, I'm not sure if she'll okay someone who's got a bad attitude evil, but sorry. I wanted to give you some more encouragement, but I'm not used to cheery words yet. So Mash says she's evil. Mash tells you that she's evil. Yeah, I can heal something like that. Thank you very much, Director Olga. Really now, when the director is calm, she can be dependable. Yuki. Yuki, aka Fujimaru Ritsuka. You should know the director is in a complicated position as well. Initially, Mari was like you, a master candidate. 3 years ago, a previous director, her father, passed away, and she had to take over Claudia when she was just a student. Since then, it's been one tense day after another. She had taken over a head of the family once and for all. All she could do was keep Claudia running. Around that time, an anomaly was found in Claudia. We could no longer see into the promised future 100 years from now. There was a huge criticism from the associations and our sponsors. She was ordered to get the situation back to normal as soon as possible. To make matter worse, they found out she had no aptitude to be a master. A noble Atmosphere family, one of the 12 lords of the dominating facility of astronomy at the Mage, and in a scandal that would occur if the head family was found out unfitted to become a master. You can only imagine the level of gossip happening behind the scenes. I'm sure those rumors reached Mari already. She still worked to be her absolute best. This last half a year, she's barely been hanging. She worked herself so hard. I've become actually consoling with how the things are. But any event, she's been emotionally stretched from the limit. She doesn't hate you or anything like that. I know, Director Imari isn't an evil person. I hope he clicks that. But, I'm glad you think so. Dr. Romani specifically still says, you know she's evil, right? She isn't cruel and nefarious and dishonest, that I can promise you. She's just rather a serious person. Anyway, you're the only three that I can trust right now. I want you to commend that. It's very important from the two people perspective that they specifically tell you that she's evil. No matter what she says or what she's done, in the end, she is evil. So that's why a lot of people have speculated and kind of guessed and confirmed with the showing of Lost Moon that her side alignments, or AKA her good old evil alignments, is evil. Like, she is alignment side of evil. She is evil. We don't know what the other part is. I think in Lost Belt, I think she will choose herself to be either lawful, neutral, or chaotic. But all we know that she is evil. That's what I wanted to show you. We're telling you the theory that that OLGA Mari is evil. How you doing, Jade? Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you enjoy the bird watch. Yeah, like even Dr. Romani says, she's got it hard, right? But she's evil. Don't forget that. Hostile life form has been removed. Let us go. Seven masters fight each other, standing guard. Claudia learned about this in 2018. My father, the previous director, used this data to build the summoning system. It's interesting because in 2018, Magical Alliance are the root of all magicraft, the one that sided with the holder's wishes. Yes, that's the one. Mages in Fuyuki City completed the for the Grail in order to activate its summon 7 servants in heroic experience. That was the beginning of the Holy Grail War. Unknown to anyone, servants were summoned to this town. Notice how it says Fuyuki Holy Grail War system is simple. 7 masters fight each other. The last one standing gets the Grail. Claudia learned about this in 2010. My father, the previous director, used this data to build a summoning system. Right? That's what makes up Claudia's heroic spirit summoning system, Fate, our third invention after Lapis and Claudius. Third is in the near future observation lens Shiba that was created by Professor Leff. Well, I guess you can say that we both worked on it. Anyway, this is where servants come from. 7 servants fought here. In the end, Saber was victorious. Isn't that interesting? Because we don't know this outcome. We don't know which Saber what that was. Because every Saber was fucking victorious. God damn it. We don't know which timeline this is. We don't know what this is. All we know is that there was a Fuyuki Grail War and Saber became victorious. And yes, constant gossip and constant lie can definitely happen because that has been a trend of Lost Belt so far. Cognitive manipulation does happen. It's big brain because one of the events kind of proved the theory of cognitive disruption and cognitive point of sense of direction or looking at an objective will change over time. Wait, hold up. From Solomon, didn't we learn that the Caster Solomon won the previous Grail War? Now, things gets interestingly stirred up in that Strum War. From OLGA Mari's perspective, she's been learned that listen. Let's see, history must have been slightly disrupted. Stop that. Go back. She's just a rather serious person, but she is evil. You're the only three I can trust right now. I want you to convince investigating without fighting, right? Investigate the port. I didn't know what would happen with that monster, but I expected nothing less of a servant's body. Such power. Oh yeah, the Fuyuki in our data isn't, yeah. Fuyuki in our data and this Fuyuki is just way too different. What happened in this city exactly? What are your thoughts on this, director? History must have been slightly disrupted. That's the only reason I can think of. I'm going to say this once, so listen up. Claudia observes the future through Earth, and it's called Claudius. At the same time, familiar. This is a very important part that Nasu drops like on the fucking dot. History must have been slightly disrupted. Only reason I can think of. Mash Fuyuki. I'm only going to say this once. Claudia observes the future through an Earth model called Claudius. At the same time, a familiar called Lapis compiles past records. You can say it's Lapius's jobs to gather data on history that wasn't made public, and information that was buried in the darkness that no one knows. According to the Lapis observation, an unusual Holy Grail was confirmed in this city in 2004. A Holy Grail War? You mean Holy Grail War from the Legends? Meaning that this 2004 Grail War could be two things. When did Fate Stay Night Grail War happen? That's the big question. There are other possibilities? What are you going on about? I see your theories, though. That's a big... I like those theories. Either in the original 2004 in the FGO timeline or in the Lost Bill that occurred before, Gatia gave Salter the Grail and caused a mass slaughter there. See, man. I like that. I like where you put the Lost Bell. It's very... I really like the way you think there, because that's one of my points as well. From my point of view, the Jedis are evil. Omega, lol. Rizka was actually master of Solomon. There was no possibilities. What? Yeah, Marisbeti was Solomon's master, Gay Salt, not Rizka. You gotta remember. So he and Romani claimed. That is true. That is true. I like that. I like that. It definitely could be a possibility, for sure. At this point, yeah, I can believe that theory. Is it possible that either Marsabedi and Litska were both masters in that war, and Litska was just spared at the expense of his servant's life? Huh. Interesting, interesting. That would actually be big brain, and it will serve the purpose of how we can kind of contract with grandmasters left and right, but on a severe scale. Interesting. What about Sherlock when we meet him in Atlas Institute? What do you mean by that, Sanzu? You also understand Sherlock was a caster when we first meet him. A lot of people misunderstand the fact that he came out as a ruler. Wrong. He came first to us as a caster. He touched the Atlas's future observation, aka Lapis and Toraisagi and then something happened to him which changed him into a ruler from a caster. He specifically tells this during Shinjuku. So Sanzu, you gotta watch. You gotta read Shinjuku, buddy. Keep reading Shinjuku. I'm gonna spoil it for you. Nani? Yeah, you guys don't know that? Like, a lot of people have a misconception of Sherlock Holmes came in as a ruler in the first place. No, he came in as a caster. That's why I keep telling everybody Sherlock was a caster. But everybody's like, forehead, Sherlock's a ruler. Be like, no, lore-wise, he was a caster. But something happened to him which changed him into a ruler. I think in one of the AoE tells him. Extra. For argument's sake, if he was really originated from the stories, then there's a possibility of not only Doyle's novel, but also in Pastiches having been included, according to Gladius. That's gossip. It doesn't tell me. I think it's best to show you guys that then. Fate. Is it Shinjuku? I really don't want to show you guys Shinjuku. Well, no. At this point, y'all should have been finished EOR already. Fate. Fate. Sherlock Holmes explains his ruler. Okay, sure. Explain this, yeah. I'll go to Sherlock Holmes, Spotlight Analysis, Revenge Rule, Sherlock Holmes Rule. No, I don't need your guys' rule, goddammit! I just need his lore. I just need his lore. I can't find it, so I gotta find. Anywho, essentially, well, we're going off topic. Sorry. He also had to lose his memory if he had to get rid of the lost belt. You say, where he says Romani is hiding something. Yes and no. Romani was hiding something that was hiding that he was actually Solomon, or he was actually Solomon, and that was one of his trump card. Now he could be, incognitively misinterpreted or missed something, but you also gotta understand Romani was actually truly human until the very last moment where he was like, Gaetia, I knew something bad was up. You wanted to fucking be like Solomon? Fucking trap card activated. First noble phantasm. Third noble phantasm. And then just made him vulnerable, which was his trump card. Like, at the moment, Romani, aka the Solomon, was now out of the play, right? Now, from here comes the interesting part. I present to you the 3 Solomon, or the 3 Romani, or if not 3 different alignments of Solomon coming into play. He would have been a kid. So that theory would be highly unlikely. But simultaneously, what if I told you that this thing is a lost belt, therefore it doesn't happen? What they went in is not a singularity, but a lost belt. That is crumbling already as it is, and it was maintained and turned into a singularity by Solomon giving Salter the Holy Grail. Because specifically, Solomon, aka Gotea, aka Gatia, specifically says that fucking Salter, she didn't have to do something unnecessary, but she did that. Simultaneously, at the end of Fuyuki, she specifically states this. Unbeknownst to me, my power has weakened. I stayed at my hand at the very moment. That's bullshit. She has the Grail. There's no way she loses. I was going to defend the Holy Grail to the end, but I lost because of my tenacity wavered. Ultimately, no matter how my fate changes, I will always meet the same if I am alone. What's that supposed to mean? Bastard, what do you know? Guess who's holding a fucking Salter? Guess who has Salter as a party? Eventually, you two will realize it, Islands of Child's Light. Grand Order. The battle to obtain the Holy Grail has only just begun. And then also, can I mention that Kuhooting's a caster? Why is that? Why is he a caster? He should be a lancer. If he's a caster, who's the lancer? Isn't that interesting? How he possesses a Lancer all of a sudden, and then she explains it to Lancer here. Simultaneously understand that he was here before anything. And then when Salter got the Grail, she started corrupting everybody, meaning that another 7 came along. There's a next time, try to summon me as a Lancer, forehead. I'm a little sad that Kuhooting is caster doesn't show up. But there's a theory that Kuhooting caster is going to come back, but he's going to come back as a 5-star caster, and he's going to be an actual Odin. That's an Odin theory with this caster one. Now that we know Skasa Skadi is an actual Nordic Persuado servant. Grand Order. How did that servant know that name? Does something matter? Oh, alright. Well done. Several points are unclear, but I'll call this mission complete. First, let's retrieve that crystal. Let's retrieve that crystal. It's a crystal. I don't know why, not a holy grail, but it's a crystal. Let's hold it because it's the reason Saber became abnormal. It's clearly the reason why Fuyuki became such a singularity. Yes, an immediate retrieval. What? I didn't expect you to get this far. Beyond my plan's expectation and my own tolerance. Master Candidate 48, mistaken to naively overlook you for an importable child. Nehu! Did you say Ref? He's there? You survived as well. I told you to come to the command room immediately, but you seem like you didn't listen, honestly. Trash who can't even follow orders, just mere sight of it makes me want to throw up. go, Left. You're alive. Thank goodness. Without you, I don't know how I could do to protect Claudia. Like, she's a coward. And she really is... Like, Orogamari is a coward. She needed somebody to rely on, and Ref was there for emotional support. So she runs. Oroga, you seem well. Looks like you had a rough time. It's gotten to the interesting point where I think Left killed Matsuberi on purpose in order to cultivate Orogamari the way she is now. And then notice, the biggest complication is you, Oroga. I set a bomb right under your feet, but you're still here. What? What's that supposed to be? Sorry, you're actually not alive. You're really dead. Your body, at least. Todasuke Metsu thoughtfully transferred you into this land after you becoming a residual thought. So at this very moment, she doesn't have a body. She has a residual spiritual thingy. She became a servant. Or a master, essentially. You had no aptitude for race shift while alive. You can't teleport while you have a physical body, Forehead. Understand that. You only gained the aptitude you desired after you died. Because she died, she lost her physical chain. Now she could celestially fly. That's why you can't return to Claudia. The moment you do, your conscious will vanish. What? Vanish? I can't return to Claudia. Claudia's bright red. Is it a lie? It's just an illusion, right? Connected dimensions. Having a grail allows me to do so. Behold, a descendant of Animosphere. Behold your folly. Not a silver or blue represents humanity's survival remains. Nothing but a burning bright red. That is the outcome of this mission. Isn't it wonderful, Orogamari? Once again, your incompetence has brought doom to the world. Not responsible. I didn't fail, and I'm not dead. Who are you? What have you done with my Claudia? It isn't yours, honestly. Well, something's following my body across space. I told you, this place has now connected to Claudia. I could kill you, but there's no grace to that. I will grant your final wish as you insisted. Go ahead and lay your hands on your treasure. Think of it as a benevolence on my part. A high-density body of data. A territorial of dimensional anomaly. No different from a black hole, or perhaps the sun. Well, either way. Human touching it would be a hellish disintegration on the molecular level. By all means, have a taste of an infinite living hell. And then listen how she says it. Because I've never been praised. I've never been praised by anyone. Why? Why does this always happen to me? No one ever valued me. Everyone hated me. No, stop. No. I haven't accomplished anything yet. For the moment I was born, I was never able to accept by anyone. It's too late. We can't make it. Dots. If you approach it, you'll die the same way. In charge of year 2017 sent to dispose of you humans. Are you listening, Dr. Romani? A friend who studied Magicraft with you? Let me give you my final advice. Claudia is finished. Human has reached a moment of your destruction. It's not related. It's the reality that's it is the end. Unable to observe the future, you babble that it had disappeared, but that's truly wishful thinking. The future didn't disappear, it was incinerated. The moment Claudia was dyed crimson red. Your end is extinct. Your era no longer exists. Claudia's magnetic field would be protecting Claudia, but any outside will face the same fate as Fuyuki. Claudia's magnetic field will be protecting Claudia, but outside of it, it will face the fate as Fuyuki, aka incinerated. We didn't lose contact with the outside world. We simply lost the outside world itself. A shame I didn't kill you immediately. But it's too futile to resist. With the time within Claudia presents, 2018 will be wiped from this universe. No one can change that outcome now. Notice he says no one. It's rejection. This is a rejection of humanity by human history. You didn't perish because of your inability to evolve, nor did you perish due to war within your foreign species. Rather, it was your own foolishness, your incompetence, because you lost the grace of our king. Like a bunch of worthless scrap paper, you'll be burned away without a trace. This is a singularity at its limit. See, this is very important. The singularity is at its limit, huh? Cursed. Saber. If you would have just obeyed, you would have been allowed to live. Even when given the Holy Grail, she caused trouble by wanting to sustain this era. Notice how Saber Alter sustained this era by giving the Holy Grail. Farewell, Romani and MASH in Candidate 48. Believe it or not, I have other things to do, and my enjoyment of your destruction ends here. Now, be swallowed by the delusional warp. But I'm not that evil. I'll allow you to say your final prayers. It's interesting thing that the fact that the couple of outcome from here, it's simple. Like I said, from here comes the Route 1 versus Route 2. It's essentially this. Fuyuki in 2004, right? Something happened. So let me tell you that this is the ones that we had before is lap 1. This is lap 1.
ところで、あれは誰だったんだ？誰でもない。彼女はこの未来にたどり着けなかったものだ。
So this is lap 1 of Lost Spell. Alright? So essentially think about it of she... this is the world where Oruga Mari was immediately eliminated. And this is in, let's say, it is in Fuyuki, but this is Lost Belt Fuyuki. And then understand this. Kyo, Geronimo, David. David, Kyo, Geronimo. Isn't it interesting? The only chaotic evil alignment that she had of out of all this was oh no, actually, because Li Shun was also there too, right? Oh no, it wasn't Li Shun, it was Finmakuru. It was Finmakuru. Who else was there? Kyo, Geronimo, David, Bimakuru, and Hyde, right? Jekyll and Hyde.
君たちに守れる人理はない。
Perfect. Saber, Saber Alter. Fimakuru, Saber Alter. And I think Jekyll and Hyde was. I think Jekyll was good. Jekyll was bad. I think that's how it went, right, chat? Is that how it went? I forgot. Oh, that's right. He's technically Assassin Start. I keep forgetting that Jekyll's Hyde is not a servant in itself. Everybody uses him for Hyde and not Jekyll. But essentially, this is an interesting part. Hyde, Henry Hyde, Henry Jekyll, sorry, yeah. His normal form is lawful good. His berserker form is chaotic evil. So he usually has this on, but usually when in battle mode, he doesn't hesitate to become good. So interestingly says out of 80% is neutral. Except there's couple lawful. There's lawful or neutral. There's always a neutral. Except her. I think she's the only exception. She's only the exception. I don't know why Kyo was that, but I think that's it. Yeah. So, out of all the servants that she has in hand, one thing that everybody questioned at the moment is why is Saber Alter here? Why is Saber Alter in Ritsuka's roster? It's impossible. It should not have happened. It can happen if this was a lost belt. And lost belt was lost. Therefore, Ritsuka failed the first run of lost belt. Solomon King gave Salter the Grail. Salter held on to the Holy Grail, resumed and proceeded to hold the era to the point that the past could recognize its existence and its threat. So, for instance, contamination fields too close. I know. Let's go save Mash. Oh. Also, Fulcum was with us too. Kind of the reason why we were saved. He says, "What are you doing? Are you an idiot? Gate 2's over here. Don't tell me you're going back. You're coming with me. Sure, the more happy hands, better. But there's no time to argue. Make sure you get back here before it's too late. Okay?" We run in. No survivors. Only Claudia is safe. This was where the explosion originated. This was no accident, but a sabotage. Generator operation stop. Power level critical. Switch to the backup generator. Error. Make a switch manual. Now, if everything had been planned according to Levy, manual switch would have been impossible. Therefore, people died. Right? Containment wall will close in 40 seconds. These will remain central area. Evacuate immediately. I'm heading down to the underground power station. We can't let the lights go out. Hurry up and go back the way we came. We can still make it, I promise. Listen, don't stop anywhere on the way. Go outside and wait for my help. System switching to the final phase of ray shift. Coordinates AD 2004, January 30th, Fuyuki, Japan. Dots. Lapius shifting protection established. Singularity's additional factor slot secured. Unsummoned program set. Please start final adjustment. Something's wrong. Gotta hurry back. I should look for survivors till the last minute. Oh my god. Thank you so much for the Olga best girl. I see. Hey Mess, thank you so much for the bits. Greatly appreciate you.
Kappa.
Kappa. What's up? What's up? Olga haters everywhere. And then you see Mash dying. Oh, senpai. Right? Hang in there. I'll get you out. With those wounds, she's... It's alright. You can't save me. Don't mind me. Please run. Warning, all observational staff. Claudia's state has changed. Now rewriting Shiba near-future prediction data. Unable to detect the existence of mankind 100 years in the near future on Earth. Unable to confirm humanity's survivors, unable to guarantee mankind's future. Claudius has turned bright red instead of bright blue. No, never mind that. Central area is sealed. 180 seconds till internal containment. Shut off the area. Now we can't get out. Right, we're in the same boat now. Or we'll figure it out. Dot. Triple dot. Confirm vitals. Master baseline not reached. Race shift requirement not ret. Searching for qualifying masters found. Candidate number 48. Reset as Masta. Unsummoned program start. Aspiration conversion has started. Now understand that for some odd reason, well, not really, but essentially all the cryptors were disabled. For some odd reason, Team A did not get the master because they're quote unquote dead. They're dead. All right, chat. Well, they're not really dead, but they're dead. All right. And then we were the only survivor that is functioning as a unsummoned program started. Senpai, what's going on? Would you mind holding my hands? Very emotional. Race shift starting in 3, 2, 1. And then we race shift. First order commencing. So, my prediction is that this is Lost Belt 1. It's essentially the final singularity. It was Route 7. It was our 7th Lost Belt where we had to confront Galahad on our first run. But we failed. We failed and we died. First run. But understand that Saber kept the Holy Grail. Saber kept the Holy Grail, and Rem specifically says these wordings. Reality at its end. Unable to observe the future, babble on forever. The future didn't disappear, it was incinerated. The moment that Claudia was died in crimson. Your end is certain, your arrow no longer exists. Claudia's magnetic field protecting Claudia now, but outside of it, you'll face the same fate as Fuyuki, which was burned down. You're persistent, shame I didn't kill you. Noah can do it. Perish due to species, like a bunch of worthless worms. The singularity is at its limit. Cursed Saber. If you would have just obeyed, you would have been allowed to live. Even when given the Holy Grail, she caused trouble by wanting to sustain this era. What if I told you that this saber here is technically our saber from the Lost Belt series. She is technically our saber. We lost at our first Lost Belt, but what she can do is she can sustain the fucking era with a Holy Grail, allowing it to continue, meaning that the past can observe the problematic past, which is not a Lost Belt anymore, but a singularity, causing it to go back, creating a quantum physics of lap 2. And then it seems that I think Left fucking did like a quick blow to him. It says, it's interesting. I'm curious that Noble Phantasm, as if she already knows, right? Like she knew. She knew. But the question is, this time, instead of Galahad, Mash had it. Be ready, strange girl. This sword shall test the truth of your shield. Here she comes, Masta. And it says, it seems that I've been weakened. I stayed my hand at the very last moment. I was going to defend the Grail to the end, but I lost because of my tenacity wavered. Ultimately, no matter how much my fate changes, I will always meet the same end if I'm alone. If I'm alone. It's as if she already knew Lancer Saber's fate. She already knew the Lancer Saber's fate. She already knew a lot of the stories that included Saber's fate, including Lantoria. You get what I mean? Like, the fact that Salter to spout out things like that is impossible. There's no way a Salter would say, no, there's no way to say this. There's no way for a Saber Salter to say, ultimately, no matter how my fate changes, I will always meet the same if I am alone. Because fate changed with Lantoria. Instead of a sword, she was a lancer. She still failed because she was, in the end, alone. Salter, ultimately, no matter how my fate changed, instead of an OG Salter to OG Saber to a Salter, I will always meet the same fate if I'm alone. She already knows what happened. And look how, like, look at her expression after. And yeah, she must have pretended, I mean, you can't assume, right? She must have pretended to be a guy for a family for a reason. No idea, mentioned a legend, but Merlin really does have a really terrible taste, huh? Alright, I thought a person that was a man, but it's actually a woman. Don't blame fool by her appearance, she's a monster. Her power is not of muscle, but ridiculous amount of magical energy. Every single strike is massive. If you're not paying attention, top of your body will fly, top off flying. Basically, it's just a human rocket. Understood. I'll fight back with everything I've got. Good. If you defeat her, the anomaly of the town will disappear. Listen, that includes both you and me. After that, it's your job. I don't know what will happen, but do as you can. Your best. I see. You've got an interesting servant with you. Notice how she says, interesting servant. What? You can talk. You were just maintaining your silence this whole time? Yes. You were being watched this whole time. You were chatting. I was merely acted as a scarecrow, but it's interesting. I'm curious about that noble phantasm. Be ready, strange girl. This sword will test your shield. Like she already knew, right? Like as if she already knew. She says interesting. Interessante. Apparently Maze Association solely made homunculus. Sorry, that isn't for chit chat. The lady has noticed us. that really King Arthur, no question about it. She seems to have changed, but she is the King of Britain. Arthur, wielder of sacred Excalibur. Ginger's different from the legend, but she had a reason to dress like a man in Camelot. I mean, you can't assume a throne unless you're a man, right? She must have had to pretend to be a guy for a family reason. I have an idea who's behind that. It's mentioned in the legend, but Merlin really does have a really terrible taste. Are you using clairvoyance? I mean, I'm a big FGO fucking Lord reader and a thesis, so yeah. Curse Saber. Yeah, instead of Salter, it's Cursed Saber. Or Lif can also mean like Cursed Saber, like damn it Saber. Because in the JP format, it was like that. He was saying damn it Saber. It was like, God damn it Saber! If only you didn't retain this singularity for so fucking long. So you mean that there are two timelines? First, Ritzka rashifted, become a Saber's master, and then lose. Then Ritzka from the next timeline came because of Kucaster's masters and win. It's easier to say this is the second lap. So when I say second lap, this is our second attempt. Meaning that this is a completely different timeline than the first one. But the first timeline succeeded on retrieving Lost Spell. Meaning right here. And then for some odd reason, at one point in time, Fuyuki became either a Lost Bell or a final Battle of Origin. Whether it was because of the prophetic god, or it was because of some other thing. Yeah, like it can also mean the same thing too, Sensu. It could also mean that Saber was his servant because of the moves that he made. Salter was his servant because he made a different move than he did back then. The timeline that we're following is the one that we made contact and befriended and contracted with MASH. This timeline is where we mainly contracted with Saber Salter. Because usually the main pro tag comes in last, especially in the offensive one. And somebody that is a main heroine type like Saber, that is a Salter, it can only mean that she was the OG person that was with Ritsuka throughout the entire Singularity. Understand that this Ritsuka went through the entire Singularity. This Ritsuka went through the entire Singularity. 100%. There's no doubt about it because he has all these servants to help us. You gotta understand, Ritsuka is an ordinary dude. He will always ask for help. And there's no way to summon these servants that are neutrally good, lawfully evil to side with him unless he went through the alignments or the trials and tribulation of the seventh singularity. Meaning that he did restore humanity. He did finish all this. But he's now in Lost Belt. So meaning that this Fuyuki is not Singularity F, but Lost Belt Fuyuki. And Galahad is in charge. Notice she didn't die. She just disappeared off the map. Sure, a lot of people says, yeah, she died from that, right? Like, she can die from that, for sure, 100%. But we didn't witness her die like the rest of them like this. Like that. We didn't see this. We clearly see these, like, they die. They're done. It's also interesting that they also, quote unquote, got defeated but didn't die. I think if somebody can do me a favor in NA and play all the Fuyuki nodes, see if you can find Shadow Servants of all of them. It will be quite interesting to see everybody except Galahad's Shadow Servant and Salter. And after that, Ritsuka's been defeated, right? Yeah, it says, he says, listen, Drifter who came from a far away future, no, from the correct history. You can't win. The human world will be destroyed. The future has already been decided like that. And so Galahad prevented Ritsuka from fixing the final lost belt, or the Fuyuki X, which we are going to go back to Fuyuki X, 100%. Fuyuki X has a very important meaning because there is a singularity F and then there's a singularity X. They are two different things. You're going to learn it in year 3 in a lot of the different interludes. So make sure you do a lot of servant interludes because they will explain the existence of singularity X, which is same thing as Fuyuki, but not the Fuyuki that we went through. So, we lose, we lost. See, I knew someone who said the same. But that was just an empty theory. He's talking about Gotea, everybody else. Or he can even be talking about Kirishtaraya. I won't let that happen. And then Galahad agrees, yeah. As long as it's, future's a plain sheet of paper. And then Galahad's like, you're right. Because the future literally became blank because of you. So. It's interesting the servant is MASH because Salter recognizes Galahad's shield. Yeah. Oh yeah, Cursed makes it more or less sense and then less funny. Yeah, the part of what you're trying to explain is that the Salters from Fuyuki was the same Salter from the Moonlight. It can be, it is still a theory. It's not completely confirmed, but the way that Salter acts to Mash's shield, her attitude changes right after Excalibur. Motogan was baffled. It's interesting how she performed and talked and understood, and she just didn't attack hesitantly. All of a sudden, she stood there, watched as if something were to happen. But isn't that OLGA just an imagination? No, that OLGA is a... Here. Interesting. Easiest way to say for that OLGA is that she is in her residential form, aka spirit form. Biggest complication was you. What? I'll vanish. Wait, I can't return to Claudia. Indeed, but that's too sad story for you. Let me show you a fate, Claudia, that has you devoted for all this time. Thank goodness you couldn't do it without you. Claudia, he walks in. Okay, you seem well. It looks like you had a rough time, too. That's right, left command room blew up. It was going crazy. I'm seeing complicated. Yes, of course, honestly, complication irritated me. And the biggest complication was you. I put a bomb right below your feet. Wait, what's that supposed to mean? Sorry, you're not actually alive. Alright, so yeah, the biggest complication was you put bomb, yet you're still alive here. What is that supposed to mean? Sorry, you're not actually alive. You're already dead. Your body, at least, is long ago. She's not she's physically not there. Toraisuke thoughtfully transferred you into this land after you become a residential thought. Remember that you can go to a singularity without a body. Like, she proves that she had a master or a time dimensional ability while discarding her body. Yeah, no aptitude for race shift while alive, right? You can't teleport while you have a physical body. Technically, now she has the ability to teleport because because of her physical construct is now disappeared. Understand, you only gain that aptitude after you're desired after you died. That's why you can't return to Claudia anymore. The moment you do, your contrast will vanish. Well, I'll vanish. I can't return to Claudia no more. Indeed, but that's too sad of a story, right? Like, she's dead. All right, Sansu, she's dead. What if I don't have so servant singular? Well, you better start fucking wailing, baby. Go roll for him, forehead. Hell yeah. If this theory is true, it went from 1, Olga was a main master. We beat part 1. 2, we lost belt 1, Fuyuki, which means the singularity F, and then we began our timeline. No. All right, Strum War. I need you to cross out 1 all the way. Erase that shit all the way. Because the OLGA being a main master was all in her head. That is the what if scenario of what if she was a master. It's essentially, it was all in her dream. It was all a dream. She used to read Word Up magazine. It was all in her mind. That was her ideal situation of the stuff that it would have happened if she were to be a master and in control of the situation, had the confidence that she wanted but never had. Because understand that our Orogamari is a coward, is a spineless coward that always clings on to either Left or somebody else, and she does not have the motivation nor the confidence to herself to make a decision on her own. So it's essentially 1. We went to a Fuyuki-like lost belt. 2. We did not have MASH as a starter. 3. Due to the fact that we quote-unquote lost, and then the lost belt was maintained, Salter, assuming that she still lived, was given by a holy grail by Left, in order for, I think it was a convenient way to get everybody gathered up in the, it was a convenient way to gather up everybody in the, in the command room, and then just blowing it up. Because simultaneously, if it were to go according to plan, making it so Romani was there, everybody else was there, it would have made it so people died. Everybody would have died. The manual power wouldn't have turned on. Therefore, the race shift would have been impossible. Therefore, the incineration of humanity would have been completed. But we fell asleep due to the interesting fact that we have this quote-unquote REM sleep, or the senpai sleep, which meaning that OLGA got super mad because we were disrespecting her. She don't want to get disrespected because she doesn't want to get shit talked, or she didn't want other people to disrespect her or lose her little boss vibe. So slap the shit out of us, throw us out of the freaking room, which stopped Romani, which stopped everything, and then it created our timeline. I just want OLGA to live, and Lost Belt, please save her. Or what you could put, possibly, if you want to put OLGA Mari into the protag shoe, while she's dead, she's got the aptitude. She somehow got the aptitude of becoming a master, and then kind of went through the entire singularity, killed herself into Gaetia, or she defeated the Singularity 1, but she couldn't go home, or she couldn't make it back home because she could not get to Claudia, because once she gets to Claudia, she will lose consciousness because her physical body is completely gone. Therefore, she no longer existed, meaning the reason why Ritsuka specifically says this word.
藤丸、そんなに怖いのに、あなたはまだ諦めないの？
いや、まあ諦めるのはもうちょっとへこたれてから。
そう。
そう。
もう私には何もできないけど、応援しているわ。たとえあなたたちの未来がどうしようもないものにすり替わっていたとしても。
ところで、あれは誰だったんだ？
By the way, who was that? Right? Like, it's a very important question. Who was that? She's the one who couldn't reach to this future. Meaning that OLGA Mari died somewhere along the way. In our timeline. Before we met her. You get it? I'm glad you're getting this shit more.
諦めろ。君たちに守れる人類はない。
No humanity. Also, notice this too. Even though he's covered in black, he's surrounded by a blue aura, which is very interesting. Because usually, blue represents good. And yeah, she gets defeated. Going back to the Saber talk. Going back to Saber talk. Apparently didn't last. Maze Association, so they made a homunculi. The lady noticed us, right? The lady noticed us. She doesn't say anything, but witnesses the shield and makes the face. Unbelievable magical output. That really King Arthur? Question seems to change something. So I think what happened was, no, yeah, yes and no. I think in this timeline, MASH actually turned into Galahad instead of MASH just being MASH. You get what I mean? Maybe that could happen too. There's many fucking big giga omega theories about we can kind of discuss. But a Chatterino cappuccinos, I must say, we're all out of time. Feels bad, man. We're all out of time, chat. I gotta go to work, man. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this theory. This is a theory that includes that this Lost Room, Moonlight / Lost Room was Route 1, and how OLGA Mari is stuck in dimensions, simultaneously other things. Shit, I gotta turn that off before I get copyrighted and gets muted. But yeah, well, wasn't that enjoying that theory time? Yep. So, Yuffie, we got more theory time going in. If I do stream tomorrow, we can talk about a little more theory time. Usually, if you guys don't know, I stream Monday through Friday. Thursday is usually the theory time, but right now it is Lotto Day, so I'm just like farming like a goddamn degenerate. So, usually when there's a dead week or no JP/NA content to read or to write, I do a theory every Thursday. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. If you guys enjoyed the stream, make sure you click on that follow button. And if you guys enjoyed that and want to support thy stream, make sure you click on that subscribe button. Other than that, if you like your waifus